We'll go ahead and get started, guys. Sorry for the technical issues. As a quick reminder, NAT time is going to be a monthly event instead of originally it was actually supposed to be every 6 months, which we decided very quickly that was not enough, not enough time. Of course, this is designed to be a pretty chill, laid back. Well, it's every 2 months, and then people complained about that. And also, I thought that every month would be good anyway, because we always have so much stuff to talk about. It's crazy. Can we do bi-weekly? No. Wow, you guys are so needy. Holy cow. Anyway, this is supposed to be a pretty chill, sort of a fireside chat of sorts, and we'll have a rotating cycle of NAT speakers. So today we have DeviousPanda and Syph joining me, at least for a little bit. Nafi is out sick today, so that's why she's not here. Usually me and Nafi are here. Very tragic, I know. Reminder that if anyone acts up or is like rude in the chat or whatever, you'll get yeeted. So we will be monitoring the chat room. So please be nice. I should probably have a slow-mo on in the chat. Let me do that real quick. Slow mode. 30 seconds. All right, that's fine. Okay. We'll do 30 seconds for now and see how that goes. No, it became too difficult to try to coordinate. So Mania does whatever Mania wants to do. You can ask Random about it. Low-key crazy. I mean, the Osu dev server has a 60-second slow-mo, so... All right. So things that we're going to be covering today, we're going to be covering the state of ranked, as we always do. I would like to discuss AI concerns. This is something that's come up in internal a couple times recently, and so I wanted to get some community input on that. And then we may go over some various proposals. There have been a couple proposals in the last month that could be interesting to talk about, and then we'll have our open Q&A. As a reminder, at the end of each topic, or like when we say, basically, we'll open up for questions and answers on that topic. So, for example, when we talk about AI things, we'll have a short blurb at the beginning, and then at the end, we'll open up for Q&A on that topic, right? So the open Q&A where you can ask anything is not until the end of the tea time. So try to keep it on topic as best as you can. The other thing that we'll be doing is adopting a 7-minute limit on speakers. So last time we ended up having quite a few speakers who ended up eating quite a bit of the session time. And this time we want to get more people the ability to talk. And so we'll be having a 7-minute limit on questions. And we'll see how that goes. Freaking yappers. Yeah, right. There is no set time limit, but probably around 1.5 to 2 hours is usually where we'll end up. I think most of the days. The last thing that I'm going to talk about before we get started with our first topic is we have I'm going to try this out at least. I've created a Trello board where we can the community can propose ideas, and let me go ahead and share that real quick here. So you can see it, well, on my screen share, you can't see it, but if you come over to that, what you'll be able to see is this Trello board. What you can do is you can click on click here to submit ideas, get the form link, so you can submit a form, and that will go in the community proposed topics ideas. And then if you're logged into your Trello account, you can actually click on that card that gets proposed, and it will allow you to upvote that card. So you can vote on the things that other people propose, and if there's enough votes on it, then we'll bring it up in the priority in terms of things that we'll talk about. And this way, you'll be able to go in and see, okay, what are we planning to talk about on that tea time, and what have we previously talked about. So hopefully that makes some sense. If you have any questions on the Trello board or how that works, or looks like we already have one, for example, then do that. Please be nice, and don't submit things that should not be on that. Or not. There's no like really auto moderator on it or anything like that. So please don't be mean with the things that you submit. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with our state of ranked. We have several new BNs, and we also have some resignations and departures. So starting off, we have Momoyo, who retired from the NAT. He went to the dark side. He's now green. How dare he? And we had Petal, Tilda, Wafer, Coco, Enishi, and Aishiteru retire, tragically. And Panda and Syph and Necromantic, of course, became NAT. And we'll have a quick talk with them in a little bit here. Elix came back from the dead, so did App. And many of the BN mentees got promoted to full. So Monsieur Sebas, Karcher wasn't one, but he got promoted. And Patamon, CHR, Mario Kartia, Bebe, they all got promoted. Mir came back, Seto Kosuke came back, I think Hime came back, and then Karcher got promoted as well. So several new VNs and people that got promoted, and then of course a couple resignations. People just get burned out, or they have things that they have to do, like Wafer's moving, so give him a shout. Very exciting stuff for him. Cool. We also had elite nominators come out, and I am so well prepared that I totally remembered to pull up the news post for that. Yes, I did. Good job, me. Here we are. Good job, me. Okay, so we have our elite nominators: Dakiwi, Decor, Supavi, Godhack. There's like the 4444, so on. I don't no idea how anyone wants to pronounce that. Kenui, Wanpachi, Flask, Fleck. Fleck was the only NAT that got it. So call him Astralis. Does he even want to be called Astralis anymore? Or am I getting him mixed up with somebody else? I think I'm getting mixed up. Yeah, he says on his user page not to call him Astralis. So yeah. But there's not really a good name to call him anymore. So yeah. 4 to the power of 17. Okay. That works. Okay. So those are the elite nominators. So congratulations to them. I think last time we talked, or one of the first ones we talked about how those people were selected, and it was a combination of basically it's a formula that we use. Weights different aspects. One of the most important things is the nomination, like the amount of nominations, and then it sort of there's demerits, I guess. You lose points for having a very low variety of nominations, right? So if you're only nominating for like the same person, for example, well, that's considered demerit. And then the disqualifications, particularly the severe ones over the course of the year, also count negatively towards your total score. And so it's basically this formula with different weights for these different things, and we end up with our lead nominators. So it's pretty cool. It's designed to be as objective as possible, right? So where we're not as NAT really weighing in on, oh yeah, they did a lot of nominations and they had no DQs objectively, but we didn't like their nominations, right? And that's the idea of having the scores. There is also the FAO nomination event, which is a separate thing entirely, which I don't actually think we've talked about on the NAT time. The FA nomination event is also kind of similar, but it's separate from elite nominators completely. I don't think that we've actually established fully a lot of the details, so of like what's coming. So I will refrain from saying too much more. But everyone knows that there is the nominators for pushing cool things. Gotta love it. All right. And at this point, now we're gonna call on Syph and DeviousPanda here. They've been sitting here very patiently, awaiting their opportunity. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, you guys are members of the NAT now. Why don't you guys talk to us about how that even came to be, right? How did what got you interested in being the NAT, and what was that process like?
Would you like to go first, Panda, or should I?
I can like go on like first. Just like a like dis like glamour though my like speech like gets like hard now at times. So just like bear like with like me. Also, if I can hear like me like from your
I'm
mic
sorry.
again.
I'll mute in the meantime.
Yeah.
Syph
So
headphones.
I like was like asked to like to like do and like be like and like vowels by like ass and like I can't like say like his like name, but it's Fixia, right? Yeah,
Asphyxia, yeah.
that's it. Yeah, because he might thought I like would like be like good like for it, and I like and I'm like did up and lie I'm liking the I'm like I'm like says much, so yeah I'm like got I'm like in like that. But I think I'm like Syph I'm like probably has like more I'm like two I'm like saying like because I mine I'm like was what like was like was like one I'm like sigh I'm like cool right. So it's that there's like probably I'm like probably more I'm like for like him.
Yeah,
Like
Syph
to
has a
like
bit
say
of a different perspective because Syph got to participate in I think 2 BN evaluator rounds, whereas DeviousPanda only did 1. So why don't you talk about what that kind of went for you? What did you learn in each of those and all that?
Yeah, so for me, definitely the first time around, most people might not know this, but what I immediately ran into is like trying to do applications of people is that there's actually a word limit to the emails you can give to people.
Yes.
So that's something I very quickly found out, and I realized like my way of trying to eval people wasn't really something that was working out because I just could not get around the word limit. So something I really spend the first cycle on is trying to figure out a way to sum up my thoughts and stuff like that, which was actually quite difficult for me. Um, yeah, I'd say that's the biggest thing I ran into, and the second cycle, that's really what I tried to focus on some more. So that's probably like the biggest thing I learned.
Was it third cycle? Were you on the third cycle, Tiff? I can't remember.
No, this was my
Oh,
second round.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, you were in I think my round as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, um, cool. Was there, from your layman perspective of like, being just a regular BN or even like a regular user, and going through the application process, if you even remember as far back as that was for you, um, has going through the BN evaluator process and becoming an NAT given you a different perspective on the application process and what users or even for BN evals, what BNs go through?
I'm gonna think about that one for a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'm honestly might not be the best person to ask about this in the first place because um, I had a kind of a silly way of getting in, which is I did actually do an application, but at the time, at least the vibes I got from it is that I was like kind of close, but not quite there. Like I had some stuff to work on still. Um, but a cycle of BN mentorship was being ran very soon after, which I thought, okay, I'll just apply for that. Maybe I'll learn through that. And that's kind of how I got in the end.
Mm.
So I might have had a bit of a different experience from other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you have a thoughts on that question, Panda? I think
I
you were
can't
originally a
type
BN,
like
so
quick and lately, by the way. So it's kind of
sure.
hard to like. So if you could take them that like off, so and so I can just like type them like quicker, because like
Yeah, that's fine.
that's like probably better for like me.
Okay. So Devious Panda says in the chat that his experience with BN Evalio is pretty interesting because he actually ended up enjoying it a lot more than he thought he would. Um, so yeah, when I was going through the evaluation process, it was like seeing people's evaluations and things. It was definitely eye opening. Like, hey, um, because when you're not a BN or whatever, you kind of go through and you just hear from other people who get rejected or whatever. Um, and then being on the other side of things, you see a lot more as to like why. And it's pretty nice to see that there's not anyone trying to like shut anyone down. Devious Panda says I was close to not getting into NAT this time, but they chose to give me a shot. I was actually planning to quit the BNG 2 months ago, as I assumed I wouldn't have time due to a new job, but evals revitalized his motivation. Log off now asks, can I be a BN? The answer is no. Rejected. Actually, we have two new NATs. We have three NATs. We have enough for an eval. So does log off now get in? What do you guys think?
I'm going to have to consult my lawyer.
Is your lawyer Mastrada?
Been advised not to speak about this.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
How does one even apply for BN? Um, Monstrada will let you in. Mod for BN upstream will in. We could actually do like eventually. That's actually a good idea. I mean, Kevin, we could do a little trial, or we could do what Seto and Nafi did like way back in the day, if anyone remembers that, where they go through like the apps and comment mistakes and things like that. That's something that we could do in the future if that is desirable for people. So yeah, cool. Is there anything? Is there anyone in the chat that wants to ask Devious Panda or Syph any questions about the process? Um, Becoming NAT, what they like about being NAT, whatever it is. Yeah, and Can I ask them to nom my map? I mean, you can. Do whatever you want. Yes, I think I can do that. Okay, there you go. You should be good now, Panda. Okay. Gay Nerd asks, actual question, how do you guys balance the feedback between your disagreements with applicants who would nominate a map that you personally didn't like? I'll let Syph handle that question.
I mean, for me personally, it's not something I even took into consideration. Like whether I like a map or not, I feel like doesn't really matter. Like obviously, it's important that the map matches the whole like this is a map you would nominate. So like there is some like quality expectation. But aside from that, I just looked at it from like an objective view. Like didn't really take my own thoughts into consideration. Aside from the whole like does this meet the quality thing? Like is the modding sufficient? And et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I think that the quality of the maps is really not much of a factor. Um, you end up with like one of the things that does get considered to some degree is if the map is really that bad, but your mods don't make it like rankable, right? Like if it's like if this map would get vetoed kind of thing because it's just that bad, and your mods don't address any of those things, then that would be a bit of a concern. But not because of the map necessarily, but because of the mods. Um, so somebody asked about if people get invited to become NAT, and it's kind of a mix of both. They have to apply for it in the sense of right now typically how we approach that is you have to sign up to be a BN evaluator when we run those about every 6 months, and then and so that's sort of the application. By signing up to be a BN evaluator, you are saying that you are interested in becoming NAT because that is like the first step for most people. And then after that, the NAT internally discuss their performance over that cycle and extended invite if they are invited to the team, and then at which point they can accept or deny that invite. So it's kind of a bit of both. Um, so um, Evil asks, I low-key want to ask here if they ever felt reaching NAT was out of bounds, or if they always had hopes it was something that they could achieve. What do you guys think, Syph and Panda?
I mean, I've been around the game for a very long time at this point. I've also been modding for a very long time. So for me, for a long time, even BN felt out of reach, honestly. Like it was always something I wanted to achieve, but not something I ever really got close to. So for a long time, I didn't consider it like quote unquote unachievable. But I mean, after being around for so long, I did learn a lot and I improved a lot. And at some point, I felt like, I mean, maybe I could try going for this. And I guess here we are now.
Yeah. I think I've gone through personally. I've gone through many different phases where it's like, I'll never be NAT. It's not even like it wasn't even a goal of mine, and then it just kind of worked out. Like all of a sudden, it just kind of happened. I mean, it was like a goal of mine. It's in some way, but it wasn't something that I actually thought would happen. So
Oh, yeah, definitely what Panda said as well. That was a problem for me as well.
yeah, I mean, one of the things I think that I benefited from on eval around was when I was learning to do evals was being less subjective. I was just overly subjective. So that's something that I've gotten way better at. Kind of in on the lines of the long form essay writing. It's good. Um, are we in deficit the number of BN since last NAT tea time? Um, I think so, slightly. I mean, we had a lot of promotions and stuff, but not so many new additions. Most people like resigned for getting busy. Well, it depends on who you are, Super V. So, I think asphyxia has become modern Shakespeare. So there's that. And by modern Shakespeare, we're talking about complete brain rot a lot of the time.
I aspire for my feedback to become like his.
It's really good.
Like the feedback is crazy.
um, yeah, no, I when I joined, I was like, wow, his feedback is so good. I've had a couple of really banger ones. I can link you some later if you want to. uh,
I will use them as inspiration for sure. Yeah.
Excellent. One of my favorite things to do on evals is to create like a recurring storyline. Just like you know, a thread. The problem is that, you know, sometimes they have unranks that you have to not do the silly story for. Okay. Um yes. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and I think move on. I think we've covered everything on this topic. Oh yes, thank you, Flick. I missed that question. Good thing Flick is here. Okay. Next thing we want to talk about is AI usage in ranked. So one of the things that has come up, and we already have a rule against AI mapping. So that's not really what I'm asking about. But what I'm curious about is what we think about AI backgrounds, AI music. Um, what other things are AI? AI videos, I guess, right? Visual content that is AI timing, I guess. Yeah, that could be something that we could talk about too. Like, what do we think about those things? And so this is really, um, no, I means love in Japanese. AI means artificial intelligence. Thank you. All right. So yeah, this is sort of just an open Q&A. You guys can like raise your hands. You can put in the chat what you think, all that fun stuff. But yeah. AI timing does kind of suck, yeah. AI upscale. I mean, I think image upscaling has generally been seen as okay. Um, because it's not really creating things from scratch. Yeah. Which evil, I think the AI mapping was already disallowed, so I don't really think that is a discussion that we're really having here. Okay. Hello.
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 Well, I would like to say congratulations, DeviousPanda and Syph, for achieving NATea. So I
Thank
had
you.
this like quick question, right? So basically, guys, based off the recent like mapping drama, I was just curious if you guys could like let me know what your favorite hobbies were like growing up.
All right. I'll
Like this
entertain this
all
question.
this all ties in together in like the whole question.
This is amazing. I'll entertain this question. All right.
All right. So Syph maybe.
I played soccer as a kid. Like that was kind of fire.
Ooh.
Uh,
Did you also have like a position?
spits, you know.
Ooh, yo, this guy's
Mm,
good. What's up?
I was kind of crazy with it. No, I
Wait,
didn't do that
you
much as a
called it
kid. I'll
you
be
called it
real.
soccer, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should be saying football.
I
Yeah, you
was
have to be
like,
inclusive to
I didn't think
Americans
you were
too, bro.
American.
I'm not American. I'm just being inclusive. You know,
uh, I gotcha.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, this is a European-centric time that we're at right now.
it's
Oh
true.
yeah, true. Yeah.
I would like to formally apologize for saying soccer. I will be using football from now on.
Good.
All right, all right. So like, um, so like your hobbies, right? Do you think this also like applies to your like modding style and like your mapping knowledge to like apply to all these mods and stuff? Like, for example, with Vitos, right? When you type in like a Vita or like review a Vita, do you like tie in all your previous experience from your childhood into this exact moment for like typing in a Vita?
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, I've never riddled a veto in my life, so I mean,
Uh,
it's kind of a tough one to answer. But I don't think I would tie it back into what I do these days. I'll be real. I think they're like kind of separate.
interesting.
Great question. A great way to think about it.
Okay, so like to look into the future, right? You're now an NAT, and there's this huge mapping drama for like some telederb set that's just getting vetoed. Do you think you will have to intervene with this veto or not? And if you have to do, what would you do, bro? What would you do?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Oh yeah, okay. It's like you're an NAT right now, right? So in the
Sure.
future, there will be like a huge veto, like huge mapping drama,
Yeah.
and you have to intervene. What would you do, bro?
Probably look back at my time playing soccer. Sorry, football. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Uh, yeah,
And then
like do
I'd
with
really
them.
draw inspiration out of that.
Uh, uh.
I'm sorry, Taco. Sorry.
All right. So
No, well.
thank you for your time. I guess that was a great answer. I learned a lot.
I'm glad I could be of use.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
All right. Thanks for asking those questions, Weeder. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys, bro. Thank you guys, and congratulations on getting NET. So, bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay. So I put in a little quick poll in the chat just to get general sentiments on AI backgrounds and videos, basically visual content. And so far, we're hovering around like a 75% percent of people who want to ban it. And sometime it should be okay with very specific stuff that's obviously AI involved. I think that's a valid distinction to be made, where if like the song content or some kind of motif, intrinsic meaning of the song or whatever, then I think it makes sense. I'm not specifically sure what tongue is, but I think that there are some songs that are like about AI and generative content there, so I think it makes sense there. Oh my goodness, we're going to get rid of these. Thank you. Oh yeah, the Mania map? Yeah, okay, gotcha. I would love to ban any form of Gen Alpha or brain rot, and my first task in accomplishing that will be banning Yesine. Okay. Do, do either of you, Syph or DeviousPanda, have thoughts on the AI thing?
Um, I mean, on generative AI, I'm honestly against it. I don't have much else to say. Like, I feel like it's just disrespectful. I think, like, if we're talking, like, Osu specifically, I guess would make sense, right? So, the only thing I could low key see being a thing, I'd still say I'm against it, but I could see a point for it being there. It's like AI timing, because I feel like it doesn't really have an impact on the creativity. But regardless of that, like, I just don't think it should have a place in the game.
Gotcha, yeah. I mean, I agree. Also, mapping Vocaloid is not AI, and how dare you?
You can say that with white around. That's messed up.
I know, right? Like the wrong audience. Yeah, no, I'd like to see like AI backgrounds and AI like music getting banned. That'd be pretty cool. We already have the mapping getting banned. So, okay. Well, it seems like people are generally in favor of that. I will say there is a proposal to ban background images. So, I don't know what the outcome of that one was. But if you guys support banning AI backgrounds, then go hop on that proposal thread and express your support for it. And we can hopefully see some continued support, and we can get that put into the ranking criteria at some point. I also kind of am fine with AI timing because it's really like a math problem, as somebody else said. It's not really creating something, assuming that the AI timing is correct, of course, which is a whole different discussion. So, okay. Are you talking? So, Orbs, are you talking about Sliderator with regard to the AI discussion that we're having, or is this like a different topic entirely? Are you trying to pivot? Yeah, I mean, Sliderator is an AI. Yeah, it's just like a math algorithm kind of thing. AI mapping is hard to catch. It helps when people report what they think is AI, and then we can pass that along to the appropriate team. The NAT doesn't actually address AI maps. We can field the reports, and then we pass that along to an internal team that has the tooling to catch it. AI modding, is that a thing? Are people AI modding now?
There's an AI modding tool.
I mean, it's called AI mod in the client, which is trash. It's useful, or it's useless, basically. Or are we talking about like using like Chat GPT to mod? Like I'm confused specifically as to what we're talking about with AI modding. Peppy was way ahead of his time with AI mod, creating a LLM in Osu.
So true. I'm gonna guess he means the MyMod thing, which is on the same project as the AI mapping thing. Personally, I think it's
I'm
not
actually
that
not at
good.
all familiar with MyMod, so I haven't heard of that before. That's actually real though. Okay. Some people do that, Evil. Some people do that. It's not even a joke. The AI written veto on How Do You Do by My Angel Ram. Um, I'm not familiar with that veto specifically off the top of my head. I mean, I don't know if I see how this is AI written. Um, I don't think this is AI written at all. But even if it is, it's fine if it makes sense. We have a one-shot fox I've called to the stage. Hello. I think I've
Hello
forgotten Sync
there.
as well. Hello.
Good morning. It is 5 in the morning, but we're here at the tea time.
Let's go.
Let's go. I just wanted to clarify for some people because I actually have a degree in machine learning. So there is a massive difference between AI and machine learning algorithms such as Olibombi's Slidernator tool and um, stuff that is also created by Olibombi, such as the AI generated mapping. And that also links back into the discussion about the ranking criteria for AI generated content, because there also has to be a clear definition between very borderline cases such as upscaling map backgrounds using algorithms like Waifu2x, which is something completely different than going to say like Gemini or ChatGPT and saying, hey, upscale this. And I was just wondering how that might be accounted for people that might see the two of them and not get them confused.
I mean, I think it's simple enough to. I mean, at the end of the day, right? If people don't understand something in like the ranking criteria, I don't actually really know if it's the ranking criteria's job to cover up that misunderstanding about how to apply things. Like that would be, through experience and modding and through feedback. Like, how many times does somebody post something that isn't actually an issue and then they get called out like, hey, that's not actually an issue. That's not what the ranking criteria says, right? You're misunderstanding it. So I think that will happen and people will figure it out over time. I think distinguishing in the ranking criteria that machine learning based tools like upscaling, like Waifu2x type of things, are fine because it's not generating anything. It's just adding on to things that already exist to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Whereas generative AI, things that are creating something from complete scratch from an input or a prompt is not okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then that also comes into other things, such as there's some tools like the tumor generator for people that like to make very interesting looking sliders, or a tool where you can make different sliders and then you can set the timing points as a prompt, quote unquote, and then say, hey, merge all of these together and generate it for me as one long slider. And I feel like that should be fine compared to, hey, Google Colab, go make me a map that is 5.5 stars for my spread. Like, that's something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
No, I cannot shield the community. I can only just tell people. I actually had a map that I recently modded that somebody touched the design tab and accidentally made a storyboard from the mapinator that they AI generated the diff with, and that's the only way I caught it, and I reported it. And I was like, what a blunder. So it was a .osb as an unused file from the mapping generator. And I wonder how that will turn out. But yes, that is all I had. So thank you for answering my question.
Uh-huh.
OSB, not OSP. It's the storyboard file that goes in maps when they make storyboards.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's adding anything to the ranking criteria involves discussion about like the specific language that's being used, because you don't want to be accidentally banning things that are actually fine. So that sometimes does happen, of course. It's an iterative process. That's why we have the forum where everyone can participate in those proposals before they actually get published, right? There is no mechanism for anyone, including the NAT, to immediately push a ranking criteria amendment without community involvement. It's just not a thing.
Sorry, I'm on my iPad. I'm not on my laptop because I'm just in bed listening to the T-Tab. But to answer Log Off Now's question, to create an OSB file, you have to manually edit something in a background or a storyboard to animate something. And in the .osu file, when you make it, if that is not updated by the time that you make said file by interacting with the background, it then makes the file based on the mapper that is connected to the set. And when you generate a map through that tool, it sets the default mapper to the generator. And so that person accidentally made a storyboard file and got caught with it.
Unfortunate.
Silly little chump. Anyways, thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for coming. Oh, he's gone. I called Sync up. I forgot to call them earlier, so if they still want to talk, they can join. Hello. You're muted. Oh, they're gone. Okay, they can raise their hand. Oh, they did it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So basically Weeder earlier, he had a very good question, and I just wanted to kind of like go off that. So, like, growing up, what was your favorite shape?
Oh my god.
Definitely a
How does that
circle.
affect mapping?
Favorite shape? Circle. Yes. Okay.
How could it
All
not
right.
be
Yeah.
circles?
Would you find yourself more like mapping like circles in your maps just due to that, or?
More of a star type of guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's all.
Great.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. Yeah.
Great
Good chat,
question.
guys.
All right. See ya.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Amazing. I'm so glad that our community has such amazing questions. Very insightful stuff. All right. Okay. So for the rest of the tea time, I think we'll just go ahead and make it an open Q&A. There are proposals that are worth talking about, but I will let the community bring up the ones that they would like to discuss rather than us deciding what we discuss. So go ahead, raise your hand if you want to talk, or just talk in the chat. Doesn't matter. Some of the proposals that are out there. I wonder if I can put these in the chat actually. Because why not? Here are some proposals, if any of them spark your interest.
Actual just proposal nuke right there. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I don't even think it's all of them, but that's most of them. Most of the ongoing ones. AI storyboards. I don't think there's anything actually preventing an AI storyboard right now. Although I think based on the general sentiment, nobody will like that. All right, log off now. If you don't want to talk about any of these things, then what topic would you like to discuss? I'll let you decide. Hello.
Okay, so I get to decide the next topic, right?
Sure.
So, given the theme of today, let's talk about what your guys' favorite phases of the moon are. Personally, I'm a big fan of the half crescent moon, but I want to know what you guys think.
I like to second that personally.
Yeah, it's pretty good one, isn't it? The curvature,
Yeah,
man, it's crazy.
it's
You can
definitely
get
a
a
good
perfect
one.
blanket too with some clouds. Oh,
Dude, oh, the blankets.
what about you, White?
I think I'm a full moon kind of guy.
Full moon? Hey, I respect it, but I've got to go big circle.
Big circle.
Bro's got the full shot going on. Anyway, that's all I had. See you later,
Oh,
gamers.
okay. See ya. Oh, our community is asking you the real questions right now.
I'm glad we have a lot to talk about today. It's really good.
We really do, yeah. So we added this whole like 7-minute topic. Maybe I need to make some more really controversial posts in order to get more people talking. Oh, it's Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hey there.
Hey,
How's it going?
what's up?
Okay, so someone asked about Mapset Verifier. I just want to say something quickly about the new version that
The new version hasn't been announced yet. What are you talking about?
yeah.
It doesn't exist.
You
I
know,
mean, there is no new version. I mean, there's not a thing. See you later, Panda.
so yeah, in all seriousness, we are, as some of you have seen in the repository, there's been some activity in Mapset Verifier for a new version. Now, at the moment, this version is being tested inside of the Debian server, so it's not really public. Like, if you want, you can download it, but well, expect probably bugs if you use it and so on. But yeah, there will be probably news quite soon about that. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yes, I have
Yeah.
received reports that this upcoming month is the big month.
Yeah, that's the plan. I actually don't know what the latest news are because I didn't follow yesterday. Yeah, but yeah, the plan. I think the plan is for this upcoming month, from what I know personally.
You don't have to use the new mapset verifier. The old one is just fine. Although the next version of it will have all of your beloved plugins because we all complained about it.
Yeah, yeah. So if you are a catch mapper, a mania mapper, or a taiko mapper, it's going to be much better already from that point of view.
Yeah.
For the standard side, we actually are planning on porting some of the extra like checks, but that's going to be done, I presume, later after this release.
Mhm.
But it's in the plan. And so yeah, so that's the current status. If anyone is asking about that, another thing that probably some of you have noticed is that ISC is now completely dead. Rest in peace.
I miss her.
There have been some efforts to actually do a version 2. As you can see, I think there's something in this server too, maybe. No, I've seen it some other server. There's a service being developed by Mayot. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but yeah, it's basically it's a bot which basically does the same thing, and the plan is that possibly that could actually become the new IS, but now we are still kind of in the initial discussion phases since every one of us is pretty busy at the moment. But yeah.
Can you drop
So
questions about AI stuff?
this is on the dev stuff.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, Asphyx, if you want to talk about AI stuff, you can. Leader wants to ask about. Oh, I guess Asphyx wants to come up.
Yo. What's
Yo.
up? I had a
Yo.
question because there's been like a little bit of drama recently about AI stuff, and I wanted to ask what the NAT thinks about, for example, where the line is for AI stuff. Because, for example, AI provides a very good option, which is timing the song for you. Therefore, you can map, right? So I was gonna ask if can we rank maps or can we push maps that have AI timing on it, for example? Because I feel it's like a very useful tool for that AI provides for you, for the mappers to map more songs and have more content in the ranking section.
I mean, what I can say is that the general sentiment in the NAT and like our internal discussions has been that AI timing is considered is relatively fine. That's really not the contentious point very much. What the contentious point is like AI mapping, AI storyboarding, AI backgrounds, AI music. Those are a bit more contentious than the timing.
So
that being
if
said, the timing has to be correct. So
yeah, but assuming if the timing is correct, right, in a multi-timing song that has very timing changes, like
yeah.
I'm allowed to use it to time it correctly. Let's say if it does it correctly.
Yeah, there's
should be
nothing
fine if I
preventing
just
you from
push
doing that. Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious about that because I heard a lot and I read a lot about like people and like saying, oh, any content that's made with AI should not be able to get ranked. And also like I don't know if you guys saw the Peppy picture, which is if I find anything with AI, any map that uses AI, I will nuke it. So I was kind of worried like because the AI has some cool features about like for example the timing. And I was just curious if I could push a map with using AI timing for it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, maybe Syph or Kevin have something else to say on that, but there is no upcoming movement to ban AI timing. So
Okay. Yeah, that was my question. Thank you very much.
you should be fine there.
Okay, thank you.
No, I don't really think that you need to disclose AI timing. So it's the timing is from the song. You're not really generating anything.
Okay. Yeah, that was it. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks. Was there anything else you wanted to comment on there, Kevin or Syph, for that question?
I mean, I guess something
On
I'd
that,
like to
not
add is
really.
that even if it's fine, I would keep in mind that as far as I know, at least the current state of that tool, the timing is not actually that accurate. It tends to be very wrong. Like it tends to be mappable, but it's not actually correct. So just something to keep in mind, I suppose.
Yes. Agreed. I think there was a question I missed. If I ever miss a question, please just ask it again or whatever. Assuming it's a serious question. Weeder, did you still want to ask about these leniency spread rules? Can you talk about this proposal? More lenient spread rules. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that. Although, okay, let's take a look. So, the proposal wants to make it more similar to the OSU catch. So just lower it by, just lower the thresholds, I guess, to 230, 315, and 4 minutes.
Yeah, about spread, the main thing is being able to come with a consensus on that, because like the main issue I've actually seen up until now is that that there's the opinions can be wildly different from what I've seen at least. I think that some of the ideas that were thrown around was to do some sort of poll for like different ideas of spread proposals, since at the moment there are just so many to choose from, as well as other ones that actually are not exactly, let's say, described in all of these proposals. There has been, for example, a proposal to like define some kind of ultra difficulty or something of the sort, which would be extra, so to allow, for example, spread gaps between, I don't know, 6 stars and 9 stars, to make an example, which is actually kind of partly in line with what white proposals was suggesting anyways. So yeah, the main issue is that we have many proposals, we have very different opinions. I think that really the best thing to do is probably to actually I don't know, maybe do some kind of poll to the wider audience to see what the opinions are at the current time, because like it's kind of difficult to judge what the mapper's opinion is at the moment solely through the RC threads, because not many of them actually engage in that kind of discussion. Actually, many of people discussing here, some of them are actually have actually contributed. Many others are just saying, "Yo, can we get this in?" But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, when I think about like spread rules, like what ideally what I want is it to be simplified, right? I don't want it to be necessarily like the goal is not to allow or make it so that you can just map less, right? Because I don't think that like making a spread for a 3-minute song is really all that challenging, right? I don't think that's what's stopping in a lot of cases these maps from getting
yeah,
ranked. Like a normal diff is really easy to make. What's really challenging is sort of the after effect of making that. Okay, well now you have to evaluate. Okay, is that gap between my normal and hard too much? Right? Is this normal really serving as a lowest diff normal or whatever? Right? So I think not to pat myself on my own back, but I do think that my proposal of getting rid of the whole needing to distinguish between, hey, is this normal and hard gap too big? I think that getting rid of that will help alleviate so much of the issues with evaluating spread. On the BN side,
yeah.
on the mapper side, you don't have to have the situation ever again with your GDer making their difficulty too hard, and now you have to get another difficulty. Like,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
really
that's
frustrating.
definitely an issue. Another issue at the moment, which is why some of the proposals are here in the first place, is that obviously there's some kind of like idea in mind in for mappers in us that like you have to cover every kind of spread gap in the extra diffs for 6 stars onwards, which really makes it difficult to actually push high star map sets. Like you've all seen these like sets where you have a 6 star diff, 7 star, 8 star, 9 star, 10 star diff, most of which are really just there to do some kind of filling.
Yeah.
One thing that I will say is that the Mania people have done something interesting. They've actually relaxed the spread rules, but at the same time they've monitored the situation to see after the changes what actually happened to the sets, because that's obviously an important thing to monitor. So that's definitely something that could be considered anyhow.
Zawajiro, the problem with that is that how do you quantify or qualify what is a less complex song and how long that is before it is allowed to lower spread complexity or whatever, right? There's no way to do that. And my ultimate goal, what I want to achieve, is less subjective assessments of spread. Like I want to get rid of evaluating things on a case by case basis, because we always end up with like unnecessary arguments because of that, right? Already we have BNs getting into trouble because they didn't mod out a spread gap, right? They didn't smooth out the spread. It's like why is that even something that we have to talk about? It seems so silly to me because nobody's playing these difficulties, next to each other. And already the gap between a normal and a hard, the average normal and the average hard, already has a massive gap. Um, like, but that seems fine, right? So where's the boundary? We always have these arguments right now. So couple requests to speak.
Okay, so hello again.
Hello.
I just want to put my own perspective onto this topic because I'm like a very lazy person and I have like no friends to ask for GDs. So like when I see a song that I really like and I want to map it and it's like 4 minutes long, and I'm just be like I'm just gonna cut this song because 4 minutes is like too short to be a single div set, or it's too long to make it a solo set, or I have to wait for months for people to finish their GDs for me. And that's why I like this proposal, because they say that they want to make the leniency of the like drain time, it's what it's called, to like between 3 15 seconds and 4 minutes, to make it like at least 2 difficulties. It cannot be harder than insane, you know? But yeah, that's just my perspective on it. I don't know if anybody like agrees or like relates to this.
I do think it's relatable in some sense. Like, I personally don't push many of my sets because I just can't be bothered doing a spread. But
Yeah.
even then, the matter is that, like, surely there needs to be a balance, though, because like if you go too much on the other side, you sacrifice too much accessibility. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of finding the sweet spot. I would say something that the sweet spot is okay right now. Others, for example, you do not think so. So the issue here for me is like seeing what's the true consensus among the mapping community, because like people love to talk about this, but they don't really do that in the RC threads, or at least from what I observed up to now.
Hmm. I mean, for me, this change, like this proposal, is more like a quality of life improvement, and I don't really think this will like hurt spreads that much. It's more like it makes it more accessible for full
Yeah.
versions of songs to be ranked. So I feel like it's a win-win situation here. And
Yeah.
also like what you guys like said about lower divs being like an issue and stuff. I mean, I also I kind of agree with that, people. And then yeah, still like my main issue with the whole thing what we have right now is like it's too strict with the drain time being too long.
Well, we always,
Yeah.
no matter what we do, we're gonna have to have a numerical, quantifiable cutoff for where spread is required, and that's going to, like, if we move the boundary down, it's gonna be, all we're gonna be doing is moving what we're complaining about down, right? Like if we make it a 4 minute for a marathon, well then people who are mapping a 3 minute and 59-second song are gonna be complaining. Like,
Yeah, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
already like happening now. Like,
If you want
my
to,
point is that moving it doesn't fix anything. It inherently doesn't fix anything, right? We just make
yeah,
some other people upset.
personally, a gripe of mine about the drain times is the 30-second allowance on breaks. I just find that like I actually think it makes more sense to have a global reduction of 30 seconds rather than having 30 seconds of allowance only for breaks. Because if then you have a song that where the downtime is all at the beginning at the end, like you can't really use that, can you? I've always thought that was a bit weird as a like distinction. So maybe doing something about that, maybe acting on that could be a solution. I don't know, but yeah, we actually need we. I think again the main issue is just that there are so many proposals and so many opinions that I think that best thing that should be done is likely some sort of poll or anything to actually see what people think about this.
Yeah.
You can see already that there's some kind of debate here in the chat. There is already no consensus here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
13 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, maybe what we need to do is schedule like a internal NAT meeting, figure out what
Yeah,
proposals we want to push forward, and then sort of
I
compile
agree.
a poll. But I think part of the problem is internally we haven't been able to get on the same page because half the NAT doesn't reply. So
Yeah, people are busy, man.
yeah.
I can confirm the last few weeks have been kind of hell for me. So
Real. Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, so thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave the
Okay.
stage.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks for calling.
thank you.
Hello,
Nat,
hello.
what's up?
Finally, it's your turn.
Hi. I have something to mention about the spread for like higher end difficulties, right? Because I think Kevin talked about that just earlier in the last stage, like the last tea time. It's more related to like drain time and not the actual like difficulty between like spreads. Because there's obviously like a debate or like this controversy where you don't have a lot of like high-end difficulties, and it's kind of like you have this whole need to make like an entire set beforehand to be able to do that, right? And I kind of thought of an idea of like why not make like a second hand like a drain time like requirement, but for higher like map sets. It's kind of complicated because you don't have like a limit to star rating, right? There can always be like a new hardest star rating ranked any day, depending on how the set is made. But it's kind of like an open idea to. I think it's doable to make like a drain time requirement for higher diffs, and like have map sets. You know how there's love sets that are like just kind of like what 6 stars to like 8 stars, for example. I think there
Yeah.
could be something done with that. This is like very open because I would be saying things, but there's no limit to star rating, so I can't make like a base for it.
Fun fact: I think you're describing something very similar to the old approved map sets. Back then, there was maps weren't just ranked. There were two categories. There were ranked maps and approved maps.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
it's
that.
something similar to your proposal. I think will be something similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and for the like I've seen a bit of proposals on drain time, but I see those as more like leniency for like the entirety of difficulties. I think right now the drain time is fine for like ranked ability. I don't see like specific issues for it. I would be more like onto the unofficial edit stuff for like ranking songs, like spread wise. Because obviously people have like some different intentions of making like, farm maps, for example. That's like the biggest debate. But personally, I think the current state of the drain time stuff is like perfectly fine. I don't see any like need to change it. Because it's so like in the cement. Like I don't think you need to change that. I think it's more like there should be an idea made up for the higher end sets. That's pretty much it, really.
Okay. Okay. Interesting idea. Another one to add to the pile.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time. That's it. If there's
Uh-huh.
not really like a direct answer for it.
Well, we can't really decide anything here.
Yeah. No. Obviously, I get
Yeah.
it. It's not something you can really like mention off the bat, especially if it's like an official type of rule for ranking.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you for hearing me out.
I'd be curious,
care.
like something I got from what you said was like I'd be curious if we could do instead of it based on like the length of the song, maybe we could do it based on like um like, or instead of having a spread based on like having normal, hard, insane, we could maybe make it based on the total drain time of your map set, right? Like if your total drain time was 5 minutes, you only needed one diff. If it was less than 5, then you need 2 diffs, and if it's less than 3, you need, so on and so forth, right? So I'd be curious about that. I don't know.
Necessarily that would work, but that also it's also an incentive to like having to apply it to other or like the rest of the current rules. But what I'm trying to say is if there were to be like a cap star rating in this game, right? You could like make it like a reverse requirement where it's like, let's say the max is like what 15 stars for rank. Let's say that was a rule, okay? You could put like if lowest diff is this star rating, then like have a spread all the way to this amount of stars or something, right?
We
That's what
want
I'm
to
trying to say
avoid.
here.
We want to avoid
Yeah,
having
no, I
star
get
rating
the
in the ranking
point because I
criteria.
was thinking about the idea before going there on stage, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Like a lot of things would be easier if we incorporated star ratings into the ranking criteria, but that's like a hard no.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, it's just too finicky. It always depends on the current PP values, basically. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, it cannot be used really as an absolute value of sorts. Like even the ones present in the ranking criteria, I think are kind of outdated now. If you think about it, like there have been some cases where easy difficulties with the last PP updates are now actually considered normals if you go by
Yeah,
star
yeah.
rating.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, I do think that Kevin probably has a better opinion on this than I do, being how old he is. But I mean, my perspective is that it seems to me like the average difficulty of maps, particularly low dips like normals, hards, has trended upwards over the last like decade.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, definitely.
and so like the normals now are closer to like advanced difficulties would be considered way back in the day, right? And I don't think that's necessarily healthy for newer players because when people join, like they can't play normals at all, and a lot of the easies are normals, so they can't really play them either. And so like joining the game is you're forced to basically play older maps that actually were easy enough.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like with the current rules, there's so many like easies and normals. I think you can figure out your way around it, basically. Yeah, like Killian said, there's a lot of old maps that are just so much more like popular and that people play. Because now, if I put laser aside, I don't want to drift too much with the subject, but let's say stable. You would always play multiplayer stuff to get maps, because or else you just really don't get them. I'll be honest, and mostly it would be like very popular old maps that would be played. And I think like even if you don't play those necessarily or play multiplayer, you still figure out a way to have your maps, I think. And there's just constant sets being qualified and ranked from day to day. Like, well, you'll never run out of those. But yes, there are issues where people just cannot play X diffs for X reason. I do agree.
Okay. Anything else on your end, QNN?
No, because or else I would be drifting off the subject with the difficulty stuff.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I appreciate your time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll get Drago. He was next in line.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. I mentioned this proposal, and the reason why I'm posted in here is because I think the main difference between this proposal and the others are also something that I don't really care about, which is the drain time. It does mention like a drain time reduction or whatever for the spreads, like what is needed. But the main thing that I like about this proposal is that it says that it gives an alternative of like your map has to have a difficulty no harder than an insane or something like that. What's the lowest difficulty? But it says, or alternatively, provide a proper spread containing X amount of difficulties, which I think this accommodates to the biggest issue, IMO, which is with spreads, is when you have a high star rated map that is below 5-minute train time, and then suddenly you need a whole spread from insane to, let's say, 10 star, and that is like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 star because
Yeah.
your song is lacking 10 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
this would accommodate it, for example, because it would say, oh, it's whatever, it's below 4 minutes or it's between 3:15 and 4 minutes. So you need to have a proper spread of 2 difficulties. Then you can have your top diff, which is like, say, 10 stars, and then, I don't know, a 9 star or a 8 star. Whatever the BNs, which is then becomes a subjective thing, is a proper spread gap.
Yeah, that's actually what I was saying. Like I think 50 minutes ago or something. Yeah, I think that the biggest issue, one of the biggest issues with spreads, as you say, is this basically not being encouraged. I would say maybe encouraged is not the right word. I would say not it being difficult to actually make very hard sets. And this has been from what I've seen a pain point also in the new ranked section in Laser. In that case, the issue is also because like it's all feature artists. So if the set of high star difficulties is so small already in general, then the issue is even worse for feature artist sets. But I have seen some discussions there about basically people saying that they want to have some more maps at least in that range. So yeah, that's definitely one thing that we should pursue when trying to go for this approach. But then again, many of the proposals in here actually help with this. For example, again, White's proposal about spread gaps actually also applies to like extra difficulties. And as I said, there was also the idea, at least internally, about like defining some sort of category of diffs, which is ultra difficulties or something of the sort, which then would allow you to have, at least in the extra category, like rather large spread gaps. For example, from 6 stars to 9 stars without any issue. Because at least what I've seen a lot of people talk about is that for spreads, their main, I would say that the main thing about spreads is that they're helpful. They're more helpful for like the lower end, right? For people that like are just joining, for people that play Insanes, Hearts, and so on. Whereas for like extra difficulties and so on, there is less of a need to have like more, I would say, fine-grained spread options.
Log up now. I think that the discussions have been that there's not enough high diffs for ranked play. There's enough low diffs. But maybe I misunderstood what they said. Going to Drago's thing, my issue with the whole like proper spread thing is that, and I'll just say this again because this is like my ultimate point, is that I want to avoid having another thing for BNs to evaluate. What is a proper spread? That is an inherently subjective assessment, and I want to avoid subjective assessments because that is just a recipe for conflict. That's what I like about my proposal the most, is it gets rid of those subjective assessments as to what is a proper spread. And there's not really any way to quantify a proper spread unless you use like star rating or something like that. But that we've already talked about how that doesn't work.
I mean, I think it is very true that it would add possibly more conflict because it is very subjective. But I think out of maybe defining like what kevincela said about like having more defined like difficulty namings for extra plus, maybe that could be a good idea, or your proposal, White. But I really think like defining somehow that it's, I don't know, like I just try to think like of any example that can fix the issue where the beat map listing is lacking most in like very high star rated maps, and at the same time those are the hardest to rank because they require the most effort to push, also to like complete a set of. And I also agree on Kevin's little points that spreads usually benefit or are beneficial for low end players rather than high end players, because if you can play an insane plus, there's an abundance of maps and you're just gonna go straight to that difficulty, and you're not gonna like play all the difficulties in a set unless like you really like the song, you know? So in that case you can just go to another set of that same song.
Yeah,
So
because if you think about it, usually the issue, at least from my perspective, has never been about like making normals, because making a normal nowadays is actually very easy to do. Like I nowadays, if I want to complete a spread and all the easy and normal diffs are missing, like I do it at most like 1 hour of work or something like that. Whereas for like extra diff, it's obviously much more difficult because there are so many more nuances to keep track about to keep track on the song itself to actually realize proper difficulties.
Did Syph have something to say on this?
I'm sorry, I'm I'm not mentally here right now. I'm trying to troubleshoot my audio.
Well, did you have something you wanted to talk about here, or are you good?
No, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Because there's no echo if you're talking. It's just when other people are talking. Okay.
Yeah, it's just I was not really following along. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Well, we're gonna have
I have
to.
nothing more to add. Thank
Yeah,
you
sounds
guys for
good.
letting me up. Oh, and my favorite shape is triangles for the question. Okay, bye.
Well, that's you're playing the wrong game. Sorry. Okay. I think Gay Nerd is next, and then Mir after that.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I was thinking about like this spread gap and everything. I think that like so Logoff now has already talked about it in chat, and in my opinion, I personally agree with it. It's the fact that new songs shouldn't require new songs should require like spread gaps, but existing songs should be shown like some kind of leniency. And personally, I do like that sentiment, although I think that for existing songs, we can start at like insane plus, because insane is typically the lowest level where you can still do some pretty cool stuff, because like you don't need to follow distance snap, you don't need to follow like time distance equality, you don't need to like make basically patterns readable for the player. But yeah, I don't know, I just like to hear your thoughts on that, on if songs like already ranked should be given more leniency. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's actually also an interesting possibility. Yeah, having it at least at an insane difficulty, I think makes sense. If anything, because from what I've seen, the most played kind of difficulties are insane difficulties. So
Yeah.
It's usually better to, I think, at least cover that kind of range. Obviously, now then the issue is, for example, what if this song that has been already ranked is a cut version, whereas you map the longer version, or maybe, I don't know, variations which are even, for example, official variations, however small they are. Like in written games, you have that a lot. But yeah, that could surely be a thing to consider too. I think it just needs to be worded properly to like try to see what kind of edge cases there are, and if there is like a way to easily word what kind of variations would be allowed for this and what not.
I think that there's a lot of ways to abuse that. I mean, it's like a nice idea in theory, but like let's say that you're trying to rank a 10-star map. Well, it'd be pretty easy to just go and make a super low effort, effectively AI mapped, you know, normal hard insane spread, and then now all of a sudden I can rank my 10-star without any spread. And I
Wait,
think
what?
like these kinds of
No,
workarounds are lame.
that wasn't where I was getting to, though.
No?
I wasn't talking about like skipping difficulties. I was more talking about like let's say that you have an existing song, which is like a full spread,
Mhm.
like let's say 4 minutes. No, sorry. Let's say like TV size full spread. I think that you should be able to, if you wanted to make like your own set of that song, just have to do an insane and above and skip the low diffs. Because like
Okay.
I read like criticisms from a few people that are like, okay, but what if people just abuse it or they will make no effort? The thing is, low diff players and like new players, they already have a lot of existing content in so far as there's a button for recommended difficulty. Now, I think that having it enabled by default in laser would actually make it much easier for new players to like find that low diff content.
I am more okay with that then, yeah. So, good. Anything else to comment on there?
I don't think so. I just wanted to see what other people thought about it, or if that was something that was like already on the table when it came to spread discussions.
I think it's been mentioned before. It's certainly one of the ideas on the table.
All right, I think that's pretty much it then.
Cool.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Uh-huh. All right, Amir's turn. Come to the stage, Dad. Hi, Dad.
Hey, son. I wanted to
Our
bring
uncle.
to. Oh, sorry. I guess I'm too old to be here. I wanted to bring to attention. Actually, I'm about to invoke the UNC status. There was a proposal for literally this, and the inciting proposal that led to the current spread rules by Undead Capulet like a decade ago. In that thread, there is a lot of statistical data that reinforces the fact that the majority of players generally play below 3 minutes when it comes to easies and normals, and it very rarely goes above that. And that's also factoring into account that there are more easies and normals than there are like any other difficulty in the game, because it's like it has been a requirement for such a long time. And there has been several people in the chat, I believe, saying that a lot of people are like, new players are going to spam like easies and normals for maybe a week, 2 weeks tops, and will move on to harder things. I have tried to get several of my IRLs into OSU, and that has been the trend every time. I think the majority of plays coming from easies and normals are leaderboard farmers who are trying to HD, DT, FL, HR, everything. And like the amount, I would like to see some kind of data for actual like 6 digits or 7 digits playing easies and normals. And then we can kind of, have some idea of where exactly to draw the line for this kind of thing. because I think that was what Vinxis and Undead Capulet and a bunch of other people in that old thread were trying to do.
Yeah, that would actually make sense. Maybe we could ask actually Pepe about that. Like usually for things like statistic, etc. I do think we are able to get some more information about stuff like this. So that's definitely a thing we could actually factor in.
I don't want to also discredit leaderboard farmers. Like, they're obviously also players too, and they have the right to enjoy those easy diffs and normal diffs.
How dare
But
you?
if we are talking about strictly pragmatic, like, do I have to map this? Does it benefit the game as a whole? I think we are far past the point where players are lacking in choice for lower diffs to play. I think we have reached that part like 5 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. Like, there are so many easy and normal diffs that I feel like if you tried to play every single diff below 3 stars, then you would be playing for months on end, maybe even like a year. I think Wubble Wolf did a stream where he couldn't play anything above like a certain star rating. He was like on below 3 stars forever. So I think we are definitely past that point. And as for
Yeah.
song choice, like, yeah, that's rough, but when you have songs that are more intense and longer, then it is going to be harder to make lower diffs for those too. And mappers do tend to complain like there it gets to a point where making a low diff for songs that are too complex doesn't provide any value because it just doesn't really map the song. So that's also something to consider.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we obviously don't require easy diff for any spread at all. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think having normals is necessarily a problem because people stay on normals a little bit longer, in my experience. So, I mean, the other aspect is the consideration of um, sort of marketing for the game, right? Bringing in new players, playing where they have the ability to play new songs. So if we don't have any low diffs at all, then yeah, people can get good at the game, but people generally want that immediate dopamine hit of playing their favorite song. They don't want to wait a week or more to get good enough to do that.
I would raise you the point that if we're speaking strictly on the image of the game, then right now the maps that are being like pushed towards newer players are featured artist only, and those are all required to have easies plus in order to play. And everything else
Are they?
that isn't featured artist isn't like, well, if they're going to be recommended to newer players, they
Yeah,
have to.
basically when you install laser, the initial maps that are loaded in is, from what I remember, some are fixed. For example, the locus, for example, map sets, and others are picked randomly from featured artists, where the map sets have at least have a diff from easy onwards, from what I recall.
Yeah, but I don't think featured artist sets are specifically required to have easies that aren't required for
Yeah,
non-featured artist sets.
that's for sure.
Um, and yeah, the laser by default only allows you to search for, like, the laser client only allows you to search for featured artist songs, which I think is fine. I actually don't think that's a problem. Um, and a lot of them happen to have easies and normals, certainly. Um, then you can of course disable that to play whatever you want.
I guess the chat right now is saying like, what about new music? And to that, yes, there is a problem then if we decide that we don't want spreads to exist for songs that are below a certain length, and then new music comes out and people don't map normals or easies for them. That is a valid concern. I don't know what people would do about that, because I feel like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have low diffs and not want to map low diffs. Like, at some point, you have to bite the bullet and just do it. So, yeah, I don't know where is the line between wanting a low diff but also not wanting to map it. I think there's two conflicting opinions here, and it's hard for at least me when I'm listening to all of this. It's hard for me to like see where people actually like, what are people more in favor of? Having low diffs but reducing the drain time requirement, or not having to map low diffs at all for certain things? It's really hard to tell.
Or a middle ground where we just make mapping low diffs less painful by not making people consider spread gaps.
I think that's a very good idea, and I'm hoping that that proposal gets more work done into it, I guess, because I think that's like literally the only thing that we could really do to appease both sides. Because as someone that makes quite a lot of solo sets, the length has never been an issue for me. The only issue that I've ever had ranking spreads is when people say your hard is too hard, or your hard is too easy, or your
Yes.
normal doesn't spread to your hard. And that is very demotivating to make spreads for, when you make
Yes.
this entire 4-minute hard diff and it's just not, and like it doesn't spread well enough. But it's clearly a hard. You know what I mean? So
Right,
I
right.
agree with the proposal. I think that is a good way of doing it. I think, I guess, to sum up all of my babbling, I don't think the length requirement needs to change. And I don't think people should be exempt from mapping low diffs just because other low diffs exist in the game. If you want to, have more low diffs generally still being made. But it would help if whatever proposal you have for the Vereinfachung, what is it called? Simplification of spread rules, so that it's not like so dependent on other diffs in the set, then it would be much better.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. Because, I mean, I don't think you're ever really going to get the community to agree to get rid of easies or normals or hards, right? Because half the community really wants them and half the community doesn't. But I think what we don't need is, oh, you need another hard diff because your hard diff is too hard for how easy your normal diff is. It's like,
Yeah,
why?
that is exactly the problem.
Yeah,
That is 100% the problem.
I think that's the problem. Not, oh, I need a normal. Because it's not hard to make a normal, right? Like, that's an hour.
No,
time,
it takes
right?
you like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess not everyone's me, but an hour
true,
is reasonable.
true. I mean, Mir be like, oh, 15-minute song? I'll do that in a day.
No
My
comment.
goodness. I was there when you did it.
Wait, were you actually?
Yeah,
Shit.
I was there for part of it.
Okay, well, that's basically all I had to say. Sorry for dragging this on for so much and basically only applying "I agree, white" to the entire discussion, but I guess it's nice to know that there is some work being done to things easier.
Yeah, yeah. It's just hard because finding consensus on the forum is
Yeah,
not
it's
a
very
great
difficult.
method. The forum is not a great method to determine consensus, I feel like.
I'm gonna be so for real. Forums are so like 20 years ago. We are so over that. We need like a different way to get ranking criteria proposals
I
through.
think they work well when you want to actually discuss things, but to actually gauge opinions, it's bad. I think
agree.
like they made sense like in the old times because in the old times there was a fraction of, for example, mappers that
Yeah,
actually had a say
much
in
smaller
this.
community.
Yeah.
I think that maybe is something to discuss. Like, that might be a topic for our next tea time, is modernizing the ranking criteria amendment process and how we can do that. I don't know if I want to get into this time, but yeah, I think the forum is not the best way to amend the ranking criteria, and it's just very cumbersome.
I agree with that. I think the movement of vetoes to a separate thing was already a good start. And ranking criteria amendments are very difficult to track right now. Like, we have no idea where the status is for anything at any given point.
Right.
So that would be nice just for next time.
I wonder if that can be something Hy-Vee incorporates into the BN site. It's like a better method for tracking ranking criteria stuff. That'd be interesting. Can loop in
It would be very weird to see the ranking criteria like subforum get archived if that ever happens.
I don't know if we'll ever get rid of it necessarily, but I think that at the very least using perhaps like the BN site to have like a voting system of sorts or whatever.
Yeah, I think a good idea could be something like still have the thread to actually discuss the proposal itself, and then maybe after like a certain period when like possible options are dematerialized or at least clear enough, then make a voting on BN site or something to actually gauge opinions.
That could be a manual process that the NAT does, where we look at the proposed criteria. If it's clear that it's worth discussing, like if the discussion doesn't get shut down in the forum itself, then we can then move to putting it on the BN site for like a voting system. Because there's not really any point in putting a voting up for something that gets shut down immediately in the discussion thread. I.e., my proposal that I had last month, like that one got shut down immediately. Like there's no reason to vote on that. So, but having some kind of way to gauge general sentiment, I think, would help, especially from the people who. And the nice thing about putting it on the BN site is that it's the people who are going to be there, the people who are actually dealing with, at least mainly like mappers, right, who are dealing with the spread rules or dealing with the ranking criteria. I think that's like generally the primary audience for these things. I mean, like, no player is reading the ranking criteria amendments anyway, so. Yeah, I think that could be an idea. See what Hy-Vee thinks.
Yeah, I think we could actually thread this to see.
Yeah, I'm down. QNN wants to speak. Two people on.
Yeah, hi. It's about the wiki stuff.
What wiki stuff?
Well, I'm not checking this right now, but do you guys have wiki staff or something like that? Like people that are dedicated to edit this?
I think we had back when I was NAT, we had people who were specifically dealing with amending GitHub proposals to the wiki. And that was more of like an internal NAT job. So none of the people in this call. But I'm sure there are people in the NAT who are like vaguely following that sort of thing. You could maybe ask Mo.
Okay. Well, on the side, this is probably nothing new, but I suggest that you guys could like stack up ideas from like forums and use that as an excuse to like rework the wiki as like a whole for the actual rules and the new rules to add upon. Thoughts?
You're just talking about like a modernization of the Yoast wiki and stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a plan first for that. Like, what needs modernizing, for example? It's kind of difficult
obviously
to.
that's like.
I mean, keep in mind
back talk.
that anyone can do that. Like that is not only a NAT exclusive power. Like anyone can go and make a amendment to the wiki, and the process is the same regardless of if you're NAT or not. The wiki maintainers have to approve whatever goes on. So Yeah. And none of the, well, I shouldn't say none of the NAT, but most NAT are not wiki maintainers, so we can't push things to the wiki without a maintainer doing that. And there are NAT that are maintainers. That's Hy-Vee. I think Random is one, but most of that is done by Wallabouchi. So
I think specifically the scope of that question was regarding ranking criteria stuff.
gotcha.
Yeah. But I get that you're not like directly allowed to edit it, but nonetheless, I think like being a priority figure would help a lot, and obviously being able to like mix up some ideas to put in the ranking criteria and then use it as a subject to not only apply those but also like change the old day like rules inside it, you know.
Well, whenever we do have changes to the ranking criteria, like the first place that gets changed, the only place that gets changed is the wiki. Like that's where the finalized amendments go. Is on the wiki, and unless there's a finalized amendment, there's no reason to edit it. So
Oh wait, yeah, I have a random question about the wiki. Is there a rule stated somewhere about like having to mention the guest difficulty users in the difficulty names?
I think
This
they
is
got
like
rid of
there used to be.
okay, because yeah, this relates to GitHub then, because there was a change about it where you don't need to actually mention it anymore. And that was
Yep.
like kind of something controversial because I tried to mod it. And then there was like Nightcore was saying like, yeah, you actually don't need to do that because he pulled up like a repo page of it, but it wasn't written in the actual wiki. So I feel like
Well,
this is
unless
one
it's
of the
in the
examples
wiki,
that would.
unless it's written in the wiki, it's not finalized. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just because it's like in the process of being changed doesn't mean that it suddenly doesn't matter. So I don't know. Like it's hard to say. I don't know when you were doing this. So like whether it was actually a rule at the time. Like at this point, it's not a rule. It's not in the wiki. Like if you look at the ranking criteria, it doesn't require guest difficulties to be named, guest GDers to be named in the name of the difficulty. So I don't believe at least.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for hearing me out on that. That's it.
Yeah.
Why am I still here?
Why are you still here?
We want to keep you here.
Do you just like me? Do you guys like
You-
me?
You can't escape.
Damn.
Are you streaming right now, Mir?
No, I'm not. I was
Oh,
playing
okay.
Forza, but
Uh,
I paused so I could
I need to
talk.
buy it.
I remember playing
It's
Forza
low-key pretty
Horizon
great.
5 with you way back.
The
Do you remember that?
mentor-mentee bonding sessions.
Yeah,
way
I'm
back
playing
when.
I'm playing right now the new Zelda-like Mina from Yacht Games.
Yo, hi, I'm back. Since we have like
Hey.
3 people in the EU time zone, what are you guys gonna eat for dinner?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was actually debating on when I should hop out.
You're gonna be so disappointed. I've already
I was
eaten,
thinking
so.
too.
What did you eat, Mir?
Yeah.
I had some French fries and 2 chicken drumsticks.
Ah, the most American food ever.
Shut up! Shut up! I'm German. You have to believe me.
No. You're the most American German ever.
Germerican.
Germerican.
Oh my goodness. You know, if you didn't have a German flag and you didn't say that you were German, nobody would ever guess that you're German, I swear.
No, this is true, honestly. There are people who have messaged me in German, and then I reply in English, and they're like, but wait, you're German, aren't you? And they get super confused.
Do you not speak German?
So, I do speak German, I just don't like to write German because my German is terrible.
I see.
But yeah, I'm gonna also go dinner sooner rather than later because
Was there anything
I'm gonna
else on the
die.
agenda that we needed to cover, or was this primarily
No, this was just
spread
like
stuff?
open Q&A stuff. Well, I didn't even bring up the spread. Somebody else did that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I brought.
Understood.
Yeah,
I mean, I was
it's a
trying to.
hot topic.
I was directly avoiding the spread myself because the last two tea times have been heavily dominated by spread rules, and so I'm like, all right, let's see if people want to talk about something else. Well, clearly not. Clearly, they don't want to talk about other things.
To be fair, I think it's also that like we don't have that much to talk about outside of like the elephant in the room. So stuff like the AI recent drama. But that's also because there wasn't like any public message of like anything being changed. So as someone who's like not a member of the NAT, as someone who's not a member of the BN, as someone who's not GMT, like as just a mapper, we don't know what's going on in the internal discussions, and we don't even know if Peppy is listening to any of the proposals.
That's
And we
funny.
don't know if anything is like listen to what is being established.
Pepe
So
never
I
listens.
I can tell you, he's chimed in on the spread thing, on the spread
Oh,
discussion.
really?
Is he?
Yeah, he did.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
What do you say? You
He
didn't care? I don't
actually did
remember.
say. No, I do remember. I don't know if we can actually reveal that, but
That would probably be leaking, so maybe not.
yeah,
That's fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
the cat's out of the bag anyway. But yeah, no,
Hey,
the
I'm
reason
right
why
here.
like the reason why like oh wait, no, yeah, you are. The
But
reason why people
he did
are
engage in
talking
the
about
discussion.
spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, the reason why people keep coming back to spreads is because like obviously it's someone that a lot of people care it's something that a lot of people care about, but we just don't see much progress happening with it. Like as Kevin
Yeah.
said, there are like so many proposals and there are so many people that like have different opinions. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's mostly up to us now to like try to nudge the whole story forward. I think the issue is again, it's just been that many of us, like in these past few weeks, have been really busy. Like even from an eval perspective, we have like 10 BN applications to to eval because many of us are kind of busy, especially me. I admit I've been really busy lately, so I didn't do much, but yeah, hopefully we can actually do something about this.
Yeah, yeah. We'll discuss further the spread internally, and hopefully next time we'll have some kind of like update for the community. Maybe we'll have like a task, like a dedicated meeting unrelated to the NAT time for discussing spread rules specifically. And hopefully next time we can also discuss like a changes to the ranking criteria amendment process. Because I do think that it is unnecessarily cumbersome to actually do anything.
Do we have time for one question? For me, I do have one question. This is more for like the
Sure.
side though. You mentioned AI mapping before. This might be an uncomfortable topic. Trigger warning. We as BNs, as far as I currently know, have no way of knowing whether or not something we are requested is AI
Correct.
mapped.
Correct.
I am aware this is intentional, but my own feelings towards that is a little bit conflicted because I get you don't want people to know how to like suss it out so that they can reverse engineer it and like fix the tags or whatever method it is that it's using. But at the same time, if I nominate something that's AI mapped and I don't know until the last second, then it's also really like yucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, you
feels
don't get
very
punished
bad
at
to
all,
be
but
feel
it does
bad.
feel bad.
It
Well,
does,
Mir,
yeah.
just have high enough standards that an AI map can't get you. Easy.
The problem is like, what if it's an AI map normal diff or like a AI assisted
Yeah,
hard diff?
that's fair.
Like those are almost indistinguishable because they're so simple, but
Um,
still AI.
Yeah. Well,
And I don't want to
This is
have
why
to
we're
like
reworking spread.
like I don't also want to have to send every map that I feel suspicious over to the NAT and like stall the set until I get an answer. And if that
Yeah.
is what everybody does, then you're gonna have to make a separate division or a separate like form of like, here, please paste the map that you think is AI, and we'll check it at some point when we have a free moment.
Yeah,
That-
this is actually kind of how it works right now, to be actually honest. Like, there's not a specific report type, but maybe there will be in the future. I don't know, but yeah.
I actually think that there's automated checks in place that check maps. I could be wrong, but I think Hy-Vee's implemented
once
automatic
There have been
checks.
discussions. There have been a discussion of that, but I don't know if it's actually up or not. Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice for it to be like a BN site hosted tool, like Syph said, that we can just drop a set in that we think might be suspicious, and it just spits out a yes or no, or like a likely or unlikely. And if it's unlikely, then we could just like, you know, not deal with it. Wouldn't it help people to submit maps and avoid detection? They could still do that right now. And you could limit it to BNs.
Well, yeah. I was saying you could just limit that to Beyonce, and then they will handle that.
Could even be limited to NAT only, and just make it so that
then you'd have the same issue that you have right now. That we have to send you the set, you have to throw in the
well, the problem right now is that only like 2 members of the NAT can actually do anything about it. So we just pass it along to them.
Pretty much.
And then it gets stalled for weeks.
We are basically almost every one of us is in the dark about this for obvious reasons, but yeah.
Yep. So yeah, when people report it, we just say, "Hey, we've passed this along to the team that handles it." All right, and then what happens after that? No idea. Sometimes it gets unranked or whatever. Sometimes we don't actually get a report at the end of the day that says that it was fine or not.
Well, we do.
Not? I mean, if it gets unranked, then I guess it was AI. But like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the thing is that we usually answer now to this kind of reports with a generic response to say that we have acknowledged your report and we will look into it. But then it's not really up to most of us to actually do the thing. Sometimes unranks do happen, but there isn't really much discussion about that within us, because like there are just 2 people who actually take care of this stuff.
I think that's understandable given that, at least to my knowledge, it's not a hugely widespread issue yet. But as it may become more widespread, I think
there probably needs to be something.
That.
Yeah, there probably needs to be some sort of pipeline to actually. Yeah, maybe the first thing to ask for is there is actually there will be actually some kind of automated check, because I do remember Hivi talking about like there being actually automated checks, but I'm not sure if they're actually present or if they are going to be present.
If they were present, would you tell us?
Yeah, that's a good question. I personally think it will be better to maybe have some sort of like way for you guys to probably report map sets and have it automatically like have some kind of answer, but I personally do not know the answer to that right now.
I guess it's difficult with how under wraps the entire process is for figuring
Yeah.
that out. Man, Ollie Bombi, you were destined for greatness. What have you done? What have you done? Nah,
Oli
I love
Bombi
Ollie Bombi.
is the
He's great.
Oppenheimer of mapping.
That's crazy. Ollieheimer. That's why he's got bomb in his name. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I guess we'll come to like wrap this up here. I appreciate everyone coming. I just want to reiterate that please do go ahead and check out the Trello. I'll post it in the chat here, where you can propose ideas, see what's coming up on the next tea time, see what other people have proposed, and you can actually upvote those ideas if you think that they are worth talking about. The upvoting has to be done when you are logged into any Trello account. You can't do that as a regular user, but you can propose things without having logged into Trello using the click here to submit ideas, card, and then you can click the Google form link. Be nice, please don't, put anything that's not supposed to be there. You can certainly submit an idea to Trello if you'd like to discuss it further. But if it's regarding like the spread stuff, then that's sort of all just in the
In the
blender.
sea. Yeah.
And yes, there is a VOD, so the VOD will be uploaded probably later today. So yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't answer Gay Nerd's question. I think modding V1 was definitely more fun than modding V2. So modding V2 is certainly more convenient. At least
Yeah.
with how it's implemented in the site right now. It was pretty
Yeah, I
bad to
agree.
start with, but now it's gotten a lot better. I still think reviews are kind of shit as like a
Yeah, they're pointless.
like a go-between of MV1 and 2.
I'd
I've never
rather have
used them,
some
yeah.
kind of like forum section instead of like maybe instead of having reviews, you'd have some kind of forum where people could actually maybe point to the posts in the timelines. I don't know, but really discussion in the modding pages are so bad right now.
It is very bad.
They are so
it's
difficult to
fine
follow
until somebody posts a veto. Then it all falls
Yeah.
apart.
Well, nobody posts
Well,
vetoes
not
in the discussion page anymore, so.
Well, people definitely whine about it in the discussion page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now the discussion has simply shifted to the comments, which is not that much better.
That's
But,
true.
well, it
at
is
least,
better than
at least they're like Reddit, whatever. It's like, there's branching comments or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Which is way
Use
better
this
than
button
just
next
all
to my
links.
name as a dislike button. Hee hee hee. That was fun. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Just wanted to say that.
Yep.
Can wrap up.
Yeah, I agree as an old timer.
Maybe the oldest old timer here.
Oh, I think that's true.
Don't see my join date.
I'm looking right now. But I feel like one of your bundled maps was like one of the maps I spammed the most as a newbie. I don't remember which one it was though.
Probably Flaklipa.
That's the one. I saw Ramises B and I was like pogging as a Osuling. It's a little 8-digit.
Osuling.
Holy 2010, you're actually a fossil. Your account is old enough to drink in Germany.
16?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the Zoomer in the group, I think. What's Syph's account age?
Syph is also
Don't
very
look. Don't look. Stop.
Oh, 2014? You're old.
Oh, you looked.
I'm
2016.
I'm such a baby.
Why does 2020? Oh
Yeah.
my God. You Zoomer!
I'm a Zoomer.
You're actually a Zoomer.
You didn't know that?
No, I mean, yes, but it's been so long since I've seen it, I totally forgot.
Oh my goodness.
I actually was not aware. That's crazy.
We
My
have
account is
babies among the NAT.
We
It's
really
true,
do.
it's
It's
true.
so funny
Are you
because
actually the youngest NAT? I'm
I
curious
don't
now.
actually think so.
in terms of account age,
I don't think I am. Let me look. No, I might be. I might be.
Damn.
I think you are. Because everyone else on the NAT right now I know is older than you.
I was just wondering, like,
So-
historically. I guess I could listen to the insight.
Oh, historically, I have no idea. But right now, congrats on being the Zoomer of the NAT.
True.
Crazy.
Well, that'll have to be something that you do on your own time, probably. How long is this VOD gonna go?
I think we're currently at 2.5 hours.
And we're just yapping.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
Is
So
that
it seems to
okay?
be
Are we
working.
allowed to just yap?
I think. I mean, it's supposed to be pretty chill. I think this is pretty chill. Somebody let me know if it's not.
It is pretty chill. Thoughts on colored bookmarks? Fuck yes. Can we get colored bookmarks, please?
I don't know why it's not a thing in
Please.
laser. It's obviously never going to come to standard or a stable, but
Man, I would kill for colored bookmarks.
aren't you even mapping on like a third-party mapping client or something like that now?
No. What? No. I don't even. There's a third-party mapping client? That's crazy.
That's crazy. I know. Why would I even say that? It's like that's crazy.
I know. What are you thinking? You're hallucinating some kind of alternate timeline where that happened.
I know. Weird stuff, right?
An even crazier thing is that I'm mapping in laser right now.
That is pretty crazy. I have tried. It's hard.
Yeah, I've been actually forcing myself to do it. Partly because now I have Mac, so like stable. With a newer Mac, you can't really use stable.
All right. Based on my quick searching on the BN site, I appear to be the youngest NAT in history. So
Congratulations.
I don't see anyone with a younger account.
I feel kind of proud though, like in a way, because Grandpa over here did give you quite an odd mentoring cycle.
Our mentorship was so very strange. Although to
It
be
was
fair,
very
I have had only dysfunctional mentors.
Yeah, I mean, to be an AT, you need to be a bit dysfunctional. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I can confirm.
That's true. That's true.
Nobody willingly goes and subjects themselves to that much paperwork.
I mean, quote unquote paperwork, I guess.
Maybe evals are a little less annoying than I remember them being nowadays, but man,
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was
there's
like one of
no.
the main reasons that I quit NAT.
I mean,
was like doing evals was so annoying.
the fact that we can just do individual evals, and that's basically like the extent of it. Like we don't have to, like in the old days, you wouldn't reveal your internal notes, like your private notes, and now you just do. So you just like, yap to the applicant, and then you throw together like
You're done.
2 or 3 bullet points for like
Quick.
what the consensus was between everyone, and then you ship it. So
Yeah.
like the individual phase is what takes for a long time, and the group phase is pretty usually fairly straightforward, depending on if what the things were found. So
Fair enough. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll give it a shot if I pass probation.
if let me just fix
Yeah.
that real quick right
Oh,
now.
shit, no, please. Please have mercy.
This big
I
red
see there's
button
already
removed from
there's
the
only
end.
oh shit.
Your fault for
There
speaking
are
up.
2 evaluations already completed for me.
Yes,
But
I would be the third if I did it,
oh
but I'm
damn.
not going to.
Wait, are you allowed to just like opt into who you eval?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
can
allowed
choose
to say
whoever.
that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to say
If
if
it's
I'm evaling.
overdue, yeah.
Oh,
There's
like
nothing
if
that
it's
prevents me from doing it. Yeah.
So if it's like an evaluation for a current BN, you can just opt in to do it.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
the
but you get
system randomly
assigned for any
assigns 3 whenever a card is created, and then it gives a week for those 3 to do it, and after that, every day it goes overdue, it adds another random NAT to the card.
Yeah. Often the
That
same
sounds
NAT.
really funny.
Yeah,
The
no.
same NAT often you'll see
Yeah.
sometimes where the
Yeah,
same person is being 5 times in a row.
There's no check that the person that's getting randomly assigned was not already assigned. So sometimes you'll see the same like 5 people, like the same person assigned 5 times because they just roll it 5 days in a row.
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that that can happen, or the fact that for 5 days this guy gets pinged and still doesn't do it.
Well, sometimes we end up very backlogged.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Poor Cytosine, man. Bro was waiting 22 days for his application, stressing over it just to get rejected. Justice for Cytosine.
I mean, 22
Yeah,
days is about the
lately
average length for it, so
That's ridiculous, though. That's so
that's
long.
always been the case, though, Mir. Do you remember my applications way back in the day? Like, yeah, you probably don't, but I remember like when I was your mentee and applying for BN, it would be you'd be waiting 3 or 4 weeks, no matter what.
That's
Like
wild.
that hasn't
That's
changed.
crazy.
Except like every once in a while, you'll have a guy who just gets like who applies and like the next day gets his notice that like just I don't know. It's funny when that happens.
We had one of those just this week.
Yeah.
Smell.
Well, I guess like when it's easy to tell that this person is either ready or not ready, then you can kind of just like speed run.
No, not really. You still gotta do like your due diligence and give them feedback and stuff. So you gotta go through everything, and like an application takes like 3 hours, so it's
Holy.
it's a bit of an
That's
involved
quite a lot.
process. But yeah, like sometimes you'll just get like 2 of the NATs that get randomly assigned that just at the same time decide to do it like immediately for whatever reason, and then
The last guy takes 2 weeks to do it.
well, if there's consensus in the first 2, then it only needs 2, and then it needs a third to break the stalemate basically. If there is not consensus.
I see.
So if it's a clear cut, you only need 2 evaluators.
So the strat is then to be so good in your application that you only need 2, hence cutting the wait time down by a third on average.
Yeah, well, exactly. So the strat is just get good, right?
Yeah, exactly. The strat, get good.
Yeah.
Lower wait time, just be better.
Exactly. I mean, if it's a very easy evaluation, it makes my life so easy.
It's just that easy.
Don't please stop sending the variable BPMs. Oh my god, those take forever. Like the big like mega sets, the variable BPM things. Oh my god, those make the evals take forever.
Yeah. The fun thing is that people often applying give these kind of maps that like they are so painful to review.
Yep.
But
So
also,
in the interest of people who are maybe trying to apply for BN or have the intention of apply for BN and don't want to wait a month for their evaluation, what are some things that they can do in their application to make it less annoying for you guys and therefore more likely that you will get to it sooner?
One thing I'd like to suggest is don't use maps that are 4 minutes long that have 12 difficulties in it.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
there's
that's
okay. I'm not calling any names. There's one of that right now. I mean, it's probably going to take a while.
also one that's like a general suggestion. Don't make 2000 posts, 2000 word mods because like it's so difficult to see what you're trying to mod if you do like 200 points each long 100 lines. Like it's painful both for you to write and for us to actually review.
I mean, like the TLDR of that is just make your posts readable, both for the mapper and for us.
Yeah. yeah. Take in mind that the mapper has to apply not everything, but like the most critical stuff you say. So like if you use so many words that the mapper can't even understand what's going on, then we have an issue here.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
brevity is the soul of wit or something.
True. Something like I kind of see, which isn't really a problem necessarily, but a lot of people like to apply with like a ton of like really subjective nitpicky stuff, and then you have to like filter through that. Like, okay, is this actually like worth anything? It's like the nitpicky stuff, like the subjective nitpicky stuff, usually doesn't really like. It's not a demerit on your application necessarily, but it's something that we have to evaluate. And if it's a valid but it's nitpicky, then it's like, okay, this is whatever. Who cares? And if it is like not valid, then it's a demerit, and it doesn't actually benefit your application to be overly nitpicky.
But then I guess the question that most mappers would then ask, sorry if you hear this, that most mappers would, or modders, I guess, would then ask is until what point is it nitpicky? Like, yeah, blanket this by 1 pixel is obviously worthless to write, but
it's technically valid, maybe, question mark? So it's like, it's not a demerit, but...
Okay, but like, from your point of view, you don't want to like go through a mod that has like 3 blanket posts, and it's just like, it's worthless to you. So
it's
Yeah, I think the biggest issue, more than like having many subjective stuff, is like suggesting things which are pretty clearly go against what the mapper is doing there. So like it will actually make the map worse in some respects. Oh, of course, this is always subjective because like you cannot be objective with this stuff. At the end of the day, evaluations are all like intersubjective. So like there's a consensus, but it's like subjective consensus, if that makes sense. Another issue maybe is that maybe you make so many of these posts that you actually lose track of what are actually issues in the map. I've seen that a lot of times, for example.
A lot of stuff can just be general posts at the end of the day. Like, just cover it in a
that
broad
too.
sense rather than individual things.
Yeah, it's fun if you think about it, because like many of the reasons like people fail being ARPs are actually go into this kind of issues. Like they're all similar issues. You don't actually, there isn't any kind of hyper specific reason for which you get failed, I think.
It's kind of, I would say the most common reason that people fail is because they are too narrow-minded as to what is like a valid way of mapping. So a lot of
Yeah.
that comes from an experience of other styles. And then the second most common way is that they just miss things, which is much more understandable. Like if you just like miss the fact that your map is, the offset is off by 30 milliseconds. Okay, that's a pretty big demerit on your app. But that's less common, I think, than people just like, oh, I don't like the way you did this. You should like make the spacing bigger because there's a big sound. Well, not everything has to be big spacing for big sound, right? Like that's a perfectly valid way, assuming that that's what the mapper is doing, right? If the mapper is doing it fine. So yeah, I think that's more common, that people just don't understand the mapper's intention.
That is something that I do see a lot on rejected applications. It's like, you didn't, or would be nice to see mods that didn't go against the mapper's intention. But I also wonder how, like, what if the intention that you interpret as an evaluator is different from the intention the mapper actually had? And then you evaluate based on what you think the mapper thought instead of what the mapper actually thought. And then
Well,
maybe the applicant had the right idea in suggesting that, but based on
well,
your
certainly.
interpretation, it was wrong.
We evaluate, we heavily weight how the mapper replies.
Oh,
So if the
is
mapper
that so?
rejects the mod, then it's like, okay, well, the mapper clearly didn't agree with you. Whereas the mapper accepts it. Like for me, when I read something and I'm like, well, I wouldn't have made that suggestion because it seems to go against what the mapper wants, and then the mapper accepts it, I'm like, oh, like okay, sure. Like the mapper accepts it. Like who am I to say that it was a wrong idea then?
I always thought that it was irrelevant as to whether the mapper responded or not. It was more about whether or not the point of the post itself had merit. And that
we,
was why I asked that question,
I mean,
because I mean, yeah,
it's both.
if you just look at the map set host and what they said, then I guess that removes the ambiguity there.
It's both, right? So like if the map set host denies something, but that was completely valid or correct, then it's like, okay, well, that's not your fault that they said no. Like if you're the timing is objectively wrong, but the in the modder points it out, and then the mapper's like, no, I think your timing is wrong, even though the modder's timing is correct. Then it's like, okay, well, clearly the mapper's just wrong. So and yeah, there's some situations where maybe like a mapper will agree with the mod that they don't actually agree with, but like as long as the mod itself wasn't overly forceful and we're not concerned about you abusing your privileges as BN, I don't think that's too much of a problem. It's not our fault that the mapper is a pushover. It's not your fault that it is.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, like, I see this all the time with, like, especially newer mappers, where they just accept any mod, regardless of whether it actually makes the map better. It's like, I mean, as long as your mod originally wasn't problematic, right? Like, if the mod itself isn't making the map worse and it has validity, then okay, that's fine, right? It's not our job that to judge whether the mapper should have accepted it or not.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm back again. I have another unrelated question, and Mir let me ask it. I use Mapset Verifier a lot, and the thing with beta that I've seen is that there's a lot of under 2 millisecond unsnaps that lead to like, apparently it was documented that you have chances of like mishitting that, like hitting 100 or 300 compared to what you're actually trying to hit. And I was wondering why this is like allowed.
Because there's lots of ways that rounding errors result in 1 millisecond offsets, and it's a pain in the ass to check.
Is it? Is it
Yeah.
that like bad to just let it slide and not like have them fixed?
No, it's
I
totally
mean
fine.
that you can just let them slide. I
Like
think
if
anything
they
that's
are,
under 1 millisecond is irrelevant.
yeah, if it's under like 2 milliseconds, yeah, it's not an issue. Which is it's for that reason that you may see actually some of these snaps that marks not as actual issues but as info markers, just to say, hey, there's a snap here, but you shouldn't really worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all. I'm gonna fix those by myself for the fun of it because I personally think it's not very fair to have those on snaps. But
Fair.
if you guys say it's fine, then I'm not one to decide. I was just more curious.
I mean, like,
Thank you.
if you can do so many things in the editor, and then it just unsaps by 1 millisecond or 2 milliseconds, and it's like
Yeah,
you
it's a
just can't see
classic.
it, right? Like, yeah, you can go and
Yeah.
wiggle every single object, but
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
this
I
that
get
takes
is
what you
forever.
mean. Where it's like a pain in the ass. It depends from
yeah,
set to set, but I
yeah,
just
this
thought that
is
was like something like overseen that would probably like actually be a future problem. I don't know if y'all seen one of the, I don't remember which player did it, but they played the deceit on DT and did like this very big play, right? And there was like an entire YouTube video about it, documenting about like how bad it was to click those circles and like the window timings. And then that made me think about the 2 milliseconds on snaps, because what if that does become unfair someday? So
Well, I don't know why we're
yeah.
thinking about what's coming in the future. It's
well, it's just an idea that came up to mind. I had to like speak
Yeah.
out about it because
well, we
you
can
never
complain to
know.
Peppy about these rounding errors. Fix your
Well,
Yeah,
game.
this
I guess, but that's probably not the best idea.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
unfortunately representing floating numbers is always
Yeah, no,
really
I
finicky.
hate floating numbers. I really do.
and the
But
editor is also silly in the sense that even if you like copy paste something, it could end up pasted with a rounding error. Like just from the
Yeah, man.
Happens
it
a lot.
actually makes no fucking sense.
I
But
learned to just today about
It's
floating
annoying when
points.
I copy paste a green line and it ends up being like 1 millisecond after the slider. It tilts me so much.
Yeah, not just
Yeah.
that, BPM also.
yeah,
I learned
there's
about
just
that
so
like just
many.
today. I had to mod a map where like the BPM was off by like 8 zeros and then 23. Like point.
What?
No, I'm not kidding, dude.
That's insane.
I could unironically send like the discussion post where I had to explain it to the player because like I don't want to drift again off the subject, but what if they just didn't know and wanted to know? So I kind of like had to nerd out about it, about like why they were missing like 0.023 but like with 8 zeros, and I was like, dude, what is that? But yeah, okay, that's it for me before I start yapping. I'll let you guys do your stuff. Thank you.
I mean, we were also just yapping, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything.
You guys are the bigger people here.
Yeah, to answer to
I'm actually quite
Nevo,
small, actually. Only like 5'7".
6'7".
You're
Okay.
6'7"? Oh
I
no!
almost
No,
did
no.
Ah
something
shit!
very
Ah
vile
fuck!
to you. I was almost toxic, Mir.
Yeah. Okay, to answer actually to Nevo, you made an interesting question. I think that what changed from the old time to now is like the mentality of modding in itself. Like, it's something that like 10 years ago there was this expectation where you had to get your map modded by like at least, I don't know, like 5 people, 6 people, at least a baseline amount of people to actually then go for rank. Now with modding v1 actually being gone, people just go for the BNs. So I think that in the old days there were probably more useless mods. Like, yeah, very likely actually. But at the same time, I do think that like there isn't really much of a focus in modding in the maybe in improving, maybe I would say, in these times compared to the past. I don't say I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely a shift in mentality. I do think. Yeah, it's probably not just because of modding. I think it may be because of a combination of factors, but I think my main issue is that I wasn't really there when there was this mindset change. Like I returned in 2024 where everything changed. So you can already guess what my reaction was when people already looked for BNs when they submitted their maps instead of looking for mods. I was like, what? Really? It was kind of a cultural shock.
Were you around when RLC uploaded that one Ferriquidus map and then like insta qualified it with 2BNs with like barely any mods, and everyone like got so angry and posted on the thread like how could you do this?
Maybe.
Really? Oh fuck. I need to find it now because that was the first instance where I think the entire community was exposed to the concept of ranking a map without mods. And of course, RLC is RLC. Everything he makes is
Oh
very
yeah. Oh yeah. I do remember
almost
that.
unaudible. But that first instance was so funny just reading the thread. Everybody was crying about it. And
Yeah. Nowadays, no one
it's just
care. No one really cares. Yeah. I think maybe this maybe applies specifically for standard. I don't know what other modes actually think about speed ranking
oh my
and
god, this was
stuff.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is the set in question, by the way.
We're in the after show,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's disaster. Disturb. How the hell do you pronounce that? Disturb.
T-Storv, I guess.
Yeah, but I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, that actually shows the difference, no, between back then and now. Now, if you speed rank anything, nobody cares. Like, really, nobody cares.
Hi, Nevo.
Moo.
Moo.
Hey, Nevo. I remember I remember speed ranking fucking One Winged Angel. It's like a 10-minute marathon and qualified it like in 3 minutes and nobody said anything. I was very surprised.
Yeah, there has been just some discussion because your map was like qualified around the same time the other like Italian brain rot set got
Oh, was it the Tung
disqualified.
Tung Sahur set?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Mania
What
set.
timing.
The Mania set. Yeah. It created some interesting discussions, I will say.
Man, I kind of wish I could have read those discussions.
I will say nothing.
DM me later, White. DM me.
Man. How you doing, Evo?
Is the song banned from ranking? Are we talking about Heavenly Sahur?
You're
Isn't that like
depressed?
AI made? I think if it's an AI song.
Yeah, I think it's related to the discussion of today about AI songs and whatnot. But currently, I don't think there's anything that says you cannot rank that. Yeah, like you can for now, at least at the moment.
The Mania set was taken down not because it was speed ranked, not because it was AI, but because that there was some unrankable issue in it, and the BNs didn't really mod it. So that's why it got taken down. Now, I don't think that the actual takedown post was very clear on that personally, but hey.
hey, why don't we kick more BNs? Honestly, I'm curious what you guys have to say about that. Like,
Let's do it now.
Do you think? Oh shit! Wait, not me, not me. But like, honestly asking, do you think that after you pass probation, that it's very hard to kick BNs?
It's
Like,
really
for
hard to
just
get kicked.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm thinking in probation, it's kind of, I wouldn't say easy, but it's difficult to mess up. But
Yes.
once you pass
Yeah.
probation, I feel like unless you, I don't know, shoot Pepe's dog or something, it's like impossible for you to get kicked from full BN.
I mean, the most common thing that people get kicked for is behavior related things, right? So if you're just like, if you're like a time mon and you just like mind your own business, just not mind what you like, then you're probably
Yeah.
I existed. I aspire to be like Taimon, honestly.
Taimon is
someday.
the
Just
most
like
chill
Yeah.
guy ever.
Yeah.
live in a
It's
fucking
the
hut
chillest
in the
BN
woods.
alive. I aspire to
Uh,
be like him one day.
You know, you don't have to be like foolproof or like perfect or anything like that. Like like there's BMs that get unranks for crying out loud and don't even like get warned.
That's
So
crazy.
it's
Yeah,
pretty hard to
kicks
get kicked.
are in that. Yeah, kicks are in that rare. And again, it's especially rare to have a kick without like some kind of warning beforehand. So like when you get a warning, usually uh usually they tend to do better usually.
How
So
Or they
many
that
just get
warnings
or
do
they
you
just
need
get
to
lucky.
get before you
yeah,
get kicked?
one warning and then it's a kick usually.
Yeah. Usually. Not always. Usually. It's on
Yeah.
the wiki. Like the wiki says that like the warning lasts for 12 months. And if you
It's
get a
on the wiki.
second warning, yeah. So if you get a second warning of the same type within 12 months of getting your first one, then it usually becomes a kick.
Yeah, not necessarily all the time. Like there have been some edge cases where like the warning was like about 1 year ago and said, okay, let's just do another warning instead since it's been so long. But yeah, usually that's the procedure.
Yeah. Good times though.
Kicking BNs. You miss it.
What I can say is that I've never been kicked. Although if I didn't resign, I would have been kicked.
They can't fire me. I quit.
To be fair, I was like hyper burned out, and so yeah, that evaluation was not very good.
Understandable.
That was like 2022, I think. Yeah, I
That
almost
was
got
during
kicked for the
my
Sulfur one.
dead.
The Sulfur nom.
Wait, the Sulfur nom?
Yeah, Adularescence. Remember that?
I was very dead at around
That's
like
fair. That's fair.
2022 to 2024. I was very
Yeah.
not alive.
Yeah, I almost got kicked for that.
Wait. Oh, Adularescence.
Yeah, it's
Sulfur
loved now.
hasn't ranked anything since 2013, but I feel like they've had
tried
several
to.
sets bubbled at some point.
Yeah. We had it qualified. Me and Ryusa Aika. We had Adularescence
Oh,
qualified.
okay.
And then they crashed out.
I see.
I would actually love to ban cutting songs. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I would love to see that.
Low key, having to
Spam proposal.
append cut version to the end of your
It's a
metadata
debuff.
is it's punishment already. Like it's so ugly seeing cut version at the end of your song title.
Well, yeah, but like you're a reasonable person, Mir. Some people don't think
Am
that I think that like for some people it's like an advertising. Oh, cut version. You know what you're getting when you click onto a cut version 90% of the time. It's almost like advertising for like that kind of audience that you're catering towards.
I guess for people who like cut versions, it's a good thing, but I don't know. I feel like the general mapping community kind of looks down on cut versions.
Yes, I think that's true.
So I guess the punishment is to your aura more than anything.
Some people don't care.
Aura the buff.
Yeah, or a loss for ranking cut versions. I don't know, Nevo. I don't know.
I do think sometimes I really hate mapping like full length songs of like your usual Japanese song. Like when you have the chorus 4 times in a row, I really want to not continue mapping.
I have cut songs in the past for exactly that reason. But still
Yeah, I
having
think it
cut
makes
version at
sense
the
for
end
that.
is having cut version at the end still makes it icky.
Evil, I don't think that's bad because I think that's just what they're for. The reason that you speed up and cut a song is for farm.
Well, Decordy, there are like game versions of a lot of songs which are cut specifically for rhythm games. I think
Yeah.
people actually prefer playing
Yeah,
shorter maps,
it's the equivalent of like TV size, but
2 minutes rather than 1.5.
yeah.
And those are pretty standard for most rhythm games. I think Osu is actually the outlier among most rhythm games for having songs that go regularly above 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, tiebreakers, for example. When you have the 5 minute as original.
Well, the issue with imposing a limit on cutting is every song is different, and you're going to be cutting something unique to that song out every time, and there's no objective metric that anyone can really use
Yeah,
to say this is a bad cut.
Yeah, pretty much. There's just a general guideline saying that it should match the the general intensity of the song, but like it's so easy to argue against that or for that for every specific case.
As much as it sucks to hear, is that having it in a guideline is about as far as it's reasonably going to get, and the rest of your trust has to go into the BNs nominating the set to do it in quote unquote good faith and not nominate like terrible cuts that are, just bad. But
I mean, usually my perspective comes down to just what is the most respectful of the artist of the song, and yeah, I think cutting is usually not respectful, but that's just me.
unless
I
your
mean,
song is biomes.
That's basically exactly what I said in my proposal, and everyone was like, "Don't speak for the artists."
Yeah, which is like I think that's fair enough. Like, it's a bit pretentious, I think, for me to be like, yeah, the artist would not like this because some of them would, right? There's absolutely some artists out there that have absolutely like zero problem with people cutting it and using it because they just want the publicity, or like they think that the fact that people are interested in their song is respect enough. And there's a lot of artists that are like that, and there's also a lot of artists that are like, no, don't use my music, right? um
Yeah.
so like I think generally erring on the side of caution is good.
Yeah, agreed.
And of course there's the middle ground is that like yeah, the most cautious thing you can do is not map somebody's song unless they give you explicit permission, which would be probably
That's never
unnecessary.
gonna happen.
That would
straight
be
versus
probably
hook.
unnecessarily cumbersome. But yeah, and I don't do that. Like, I map what I want to map. I don't really pay too much attention to what I think the artist. Now, if I know that they have said no, then I won't. But so
Anyone?
I actually kind of respect songs like a Christmas slop, because even if it's made with that kind of purpose, at least it's something totally original, like created by an artist for also itself for that purpose. Although, yeah, it is still like pain slop and all that, but at least it's not like to the point that where you need to cut a song. You actually make it from zero, which is sort of respectable, I would say.
I find it so unreasonably funny that Christmas Slop is listed in the featured artist list.
Yeah, it's so funny.
you should judge OBWC, Mir. You should do it. Just do it.
Oh, hell no.
You should just do it.
No
Just do
way.
it.
OBWC is like signing up to Drama Alert or something. Like, you're always gonna get people who are gonna yell at you for your judging opinions, and nobody's ever gonna agree on anything, and it's just a mess.
I
think
can't
last
wait.
year it was actually way better last year than I think it was in the previous years.
I believe you, but I am very scarred from the first iteration of that. That
Yeah,
went
the first like
unbelievably badly that it
wait,
made
the
me
first
never
are you
want to
talking
touch
about
it ever
are you talking
again.
about the Yui one in like 2021?
I think so.
I think that was the second or the third.
I don't
Because
remember.
2020 was, I think, a good year where the UK won. DeviousPanda won that one. I don't
I
remember.
don't remember.
I mean, I
There
wasn't
was
really
one
around then.
iteration of it that was so bad that it
Yeah,
killed it for 5 years.
yeah, that was 2021.
Yeah, that after that one, I decided I would never touch it again. And I'm not really a mapping contest kind of person either. I just like to no
Yeah.
stress vibe map my own stuff, doing what I want, and if people like it, they like it. But I don't want to map for anyone
Same.
generally.
I actually, like, when I won the contest with Flaclip, I actually just joined for the fun of it. I actually I didn't expect to win at all. It was so crazy when I actually discovered that I won.
You're just that good.
Hey, Nevo,
Yeah.
I have a solution to your issue.
I know, Orb. I don't know why I'm still here. No, Decordy, I will not do it here now.
And it's just like the life hack. You know, you don't like evals, just get kicked.
What about songs that actively hate on AI? Could you elaborate? What does that mean? Oh, that's a good question. Any tips on improving wording while modding? Because a lot of people kind of, or at least that I've seen, get feedback saying your mods are too wordy and they say too much, or your mods don't say enough and don't explain well enough what you mean.
It's a
Like,
tricky balance.
yeah, where is the balance? And do you have any tips as evaluators to, or from good applications you've seen, as to where might be a good spot to balance that? Also, I think QNN had something to ask about cut Nightcore stuff if you want to get to that before me.
Huh? What question?
They have their hand
Raise
up.
hands. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess sure.
Hi, hello, I'm back at it. Yeah, I have this proposal, or rather, like an idea that I commented on the proposal that I want to share. And there's songs, and I'll say this not to joke, but a lot of artists have slowed and sped up in like reverb versions of their songs that are like officially posted by them, especially with like the funk music creators, right? It kind of got popularized through that. And I think like that would be like a valid source of being able to make music sped up and cut. Well, cut version is probably like a bigger problem, but more so about like the sped up versions. If artists like have published versions of that, then you would be like automatically allowed to make it. Because I don't think like user made changes should be allowed because they're like obviously not they're not official, and maybe like I don't think that has happened yet, but maybe some of them aren't like perfect edits, if you see what I mean, in like the audio.
That's an interesting perspective, I'll say. I'm just trying to imagine a world where we disallow cut versions of anything or speed up or nightcore of anything. And I'm immediately reminded of the fact that that one meme video with Rockefeller Street threw Osu into the mainstream precisely because it was the nightcore version of that got ranked.
That
Still nominate
is,
Nightcore, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that's made by another artist. I think the map is in parentheses Nightcore mix because I think Nightcore was the name of the artist, unless I'm wrong. I might be wrong about that.
I personally have no idea. I just thought it was
No, because
interesting.
I kid you not, before I raised my hand, I was looking at exactly that to see if like Nightcore is the name of the artist or like the genre, right? I don't know, and I don't want to like, say something that isn't true. But I just think that if there were to be something applied for cut versions and sped up songs that are like a counter rule to posting those, I would say that you should go off of what the artist posts. And I would say also you can explicitly ask the artist, but yeah, there's a lot of artists out there that just either don't have contacts, are too big to respond, like it would take either too long or they just you would go past it, they wouldn't see it, or other factors maybe that like retract you from being able to reach out to the artist. So yeah, that part is complicated, but that is what I believe. I just wanted to share that.
I think I see where you're coming from. I unfortunately I don't see it happening because I think Osu as a game is kind of built upon derivative work, let's put it that way. So banning some kind of derivative work where allowing other ones is a slippery slope that I think opens a bigger can of worms than I think anyone wants to deal with.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if you say Cypher Syph, but I did not read that exact proposal unless there was like this was the only one. But I did answer
yeah.
like about what I said like in like over text. It's just because here I don't think I would have been able to like type it out or like emphasize on some points, so I felt like sharing it to you all would be more of a direct statement.
That's fair.
But yeah, the proposal does talk about that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, just fine.
there was
Throw
some
it in
shared
there
opinions.
because people are talking about it and like, yeah.
Yeah, but was there two of them, or is this the only one about this allowing?
I think someone else wrote one up as well, but it was a little different. No one really focused on like, oh, everyone that cuts maps is like making slop and stuff, and that was not really the point I wanted to bring forward.
Okay, you know, there is a second one because yours does not mention changing drink chimes, and while the other does. That's the one I commented in. But yeah, I didn't read yours. I'll definitely take a look. But yeah, that's it for me for that idea.
I mean, why don't you know
I'll,
everything that's going on? Come on.
True.
Me?
Yeah. Why don't you know what's going on everywhere in the community? Come on.
Why don't you,
Well,
White? How about that?
Oh my
well,
god.
I'm not of
Well, you see,
higher authority.
as an NAT member, it's my job to be closed off and unapproachable and not know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that's how that works, right?
Yeah, good for you. You do you. But I'll say this. I'm a normal member and player and mapper of the game. I don't think there should be expectations about me knowing everything.
No, I was just fucking with you.
Yeah, no, I know. But on a real note, that I am someone of big interest, so I'm gonna be reading what Syph did.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I think that we need to let Kevin go eat. So we're gonna call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's almost.
Syph is definitely an
It's
interesting kind of
Syph.
food.
It's Syph.
I knew it. I always said
Yeah,
Syph.
yeah, yeah.
I knew it's Syph.
Nah, it's definitely Syph.
Can we
It's like
sub
Hivy
out,
versus Hyvy.
Kevin so we can keep
Dude,
Hey,
what is
Mirror,
it
Mirror,
actually?
Mirror. Is it Hivy or Hyvy?
What?
What do you think?
It's Hyvy.
It's of course
What?
Hyvy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
What?
gotta be
It's
Hivy.
It's
No,
not
no,
Hivy,
it's
it's
definitely
Hyvy.
Hyvy. Okay, guys, watch my VAT like or my Batcast interview, and Hyvy says it's Hyvy.
It's Hyvy because Hivy implies that there would be a second V.
It's true.
There is no
This is true.
second V, so it is
Yeah,
pronounced
it's
Hyvy.
like
That's just
the
how English works.
American. It's like the
Dude.
Americans pronouncing my nick as kevincela.
No, your name is kevincela. What?
No, it's kevincela.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
it's what?
Darn
My mind is
Italians!
fucking blown.
Heckin' Italians over here.
That's not. I'm gonna forget.
That's
I
wild.
ever heard that. You're Kevin Sela. You will always be Kevin Sela to me.
No, it's kevincela. It's kevincela, Mir. Come on.
Oh no. Kevin
Oh my.
Sela, what the fuck? That's crazy.
That was the least
Biggest
expected
notice.
thing I've ever seen. Holy shit.
That was the most surprising thing of this entire NAT
It really
talk, I'm
was.
not
It
gonna
really
lie.
was. You know, this is like up there with like learning that Browy C is Broviach.
Yeah.
My god. I mean, Kevin's such
Yeah,
an American name.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
That's true
Yeah.
too.
yeah. The funniest thing is that I have an English name and an Albanian surname, so like, it's the craziest mix you could imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's iconic, so
Yeah. No,
That's all
Hyvy
that
Hyvy
matters.
says it's Hyvy, so that's what matters, right?
yes.
Damn.
Ivy is Ivy.
Although Pishy Fat, or not Pishy Fat, Peppy still calls them Hivy, so I always found that funny.
Also, Pishy Fat is apparently P with a long E rather than Pishy, which was a strange thing for me to learn
Who
as well.
said that? Pishy? Pishy said that?
I think Pishy said that himself, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember when it was. It might have been in COE when I met him, and I was like, "Is it Pishy or Pishy?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Pishy Fat." And I'm like, "What?" And then I called him Pishy Fat from that point onward.
Some people just have like
You're
their
discovering
names
so
are
much
raw.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. Now we.
Yeah,
we
is it
discovered
Nevo
that
or
wine
Nevo?
is actually
What is it?
pronounced as wet, or something.
Okay.
Fiery.
Is there anyone that calls you Fury Rage?
Sometimes I actually pronounce it in the Italian way. I say Fieri Rage.
But you say that like with a stronger accent. I feel like
That's
in an
that's just the
accent, that would
Italian.
make- Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's
that's
Italian
not what I was saying.
pronunciation. Like, for example, Nevo in Italian would be Nevo.
Oh, it's Nevo. Hey everyone, I have something really important.
Hi.
The duck is happy.
That
Oh my
is
goodness.
very important.
That
I'm
is
so
super
That's
sorry.
very
important.
important news indeed.
Yep. Yep.
Thanks, Nevo.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
Next time we just do everything in our main languages.
Oh
I speak
no. Well,
Italian, Mir
I speak
answers in
American.
German.
I would just speak
Yeah.
English, so it's not a big deal.
Not beating the American allegations, I see.
Ah, shit, you're right. It's just funny that I can't change my flag to be American. It's like I'm only German in flag, and that's like about it. And that I live
Well,
here.
you were a
You just
QAT,
gotta
so you are
move. You gotta move to America for what, 6 months, and then you can change your flag, and then you're good. Then you can go back to Germany.
That's crazy strat, actually.
Yeah, time to do an
So,
internship.
yeah, White, when are you paying for my ticket? I'll come meet up. I'll come meet up with you. How about
Let's
that?
go.
I can live with you for 6 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe in a couple of years. Maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a couple
Maybe after
years
this
would be-
administration.
After this administration. Yeah, actually, that's pretty valid.
Yeah.
They might just send me back, Loki.
No, you'll probably be fine. You sound American.
That's true. Yeah. I pass as American.
Yes.
Mere American.
I actually have an American passport, so I'm actually just completely fine.
Are you a dual citizen?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're totally fine.
Okay. Now I understand everything.
What?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? What does that mean?
Oh.
Sounds like hands are getting thrown.
That's
No,
The whole
that was
world
not
just
the
opened for
intention.
me.
No, I'm not gonna eat, guys. I'm gonna be starving for the rest of my life.
Kevin, what's for dinner?
I have no idea.
Dude, the whole audience is dying to know.
This is true.
Starving though. You were starving though.
No, I already have had pasta for like lunch.
Oh my
I
god.
always have pasta for
Italian
lunch.
stereotypes.
Do you eat
Yeah.
pasta for breakfast?
No, never.
That's a sin.
Don't even think about that.
Okay. I was gonna say,
I usually
even in
have
America,
it for,
that'd be weird.
I usually have it for lunch. Maybe every once in a while for dinner if like we have guests or something, but you know what my opinion is about pineapple on pizza. I don't need to answer that.
Sacrilege.
Okay, well, I mean, ketchup on top of pasta is objectively wrong, no matter who you are.
Yeah. No need to have an Italian tell you that.
You monster.
There are people who put ketchup on mac and cheese, and they're
Ketchup
actually
in general
criminal.
is just disgusting.
I
Never
agree.
forget the chocolate pizza.
Okay, the chocolate pizzas are actually they're just like dessert pies. Like that's all they are.
No.
Actually, you know what is an interesting thing? That in Italy, there's one kind of pizza that that especially kids eat quite often. It's basically pizza with fries and Wuster.
Fries and what?
Wusters. I sausages.
Oh, fries and
Yeah.
sausages on pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It sounds very American.
Actually, I've seen American people say that it's very weird.
Well, it is weird. I agree.
But here it's actually fairly well known and eaten too.
Why should I run into the street? Are you trying to kill me? What have I done to you, Nevo?
You did not nom
wish you nommed
600.
600 Mir Mavs.
He
Your
doesn't
name
even have
isn't
600
Devious
Mavs.
Panda, okay? You can chill.
Oh my god.
Mir has more maps than more ranked maps than that I've confirmed.
Mir is every ranked mapper ever combined. At the same
Okay.
time. Have I never nominated an Nevo map? Aw.
You've never nominated a Nevo map? I mean, I'd hope you haven't nominated a Nevo map, Nevo.
That's crazy.
I mean, you're so nice. Why would you nominate evil maps?
I've nominated everyone's maps. At some point or another. Oh man.
Can we get a fact check on is Nevo the nominator with most unique mapper nominations?
Definitely not. Actually.
I would be very surprised. I mean, yeah.
Listen,
the person
Mir-
with that would probably be the person with the most amount of nominations across the board.
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily, but like the statistical probability of, if you have 1,000 noms and Nevo has like 200, the chances of the guy with 1,000 noms having more unique mappers is way fucking higher.
That is true, but that is a huge disparity.
People have more noms. There's probably like 3 people with more noms than me. It's like they're old.
I mean,
they're old people.
do you have that many noms, Nevo?
Yeah, you think I've been dead? Hello? I'm me. Where's the what's that site? There's a new site now for
Okay, yeah, 600 noms. That is quite a lot of noms. What's
Yeah.
Lasse at?
1,000.
Wait, you don't have a badge for 500 nominations?
I don't think so.
there's
I think it's
something.
I think it goes 400 and 600 after that.
I hate that
Why
they did
the
it
fuck
that
does
way.
it go 400 to 600?
It's
What?
so dumb.
That's so stupid. Just make a 500 badge. What?
Because
What is
originally
that?
it was 0, 200, 400, 600, 800,000, and then they added a 100 nomination one. But they didn't add like a 500. Because there wouldn't be a 300 one, right? The 300 nom one would be silly.
No, it should just be every 100.
Yeah, it's too many badges. Lasse is at 1,200 noms, so I think Lasse probably beats Nevo. Oh my god. And Andrea is at 2,200. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's
good
your-
luck matching him.
Who's your top 10 or top 11? Dude, if only I was alive for the past like 7 years. Why did you guys have to kick me in 2019? None of you were involved in this decision.
Yeah, you have to pay reparations for a sin you didn't commit.
Listen, I came back and I've been dead ever since. But I haven't been kicked again.
Improve scaling for nomination count badges. Yes, please.
Now? Those must be Lasse and Mir. That's Lasse and Mir maps that make that one up. I swear to God.
There's no way. You have not nominated that many mirror maps.
It's probably
this is
like
actually
you.
untrue.
You see Lasse. Maybe some Sotarxes are in there for me and now. Yeah, I remember when I got
a site that you could check like how many mappers you nominated from.
Oh, probably.
I swear to God there was a site like that, but I forgot.
Dude, I remember when I got BN. I think our first DM was you asking me for a nomination because I was like, "Hey guys, I want to get BN. Make sure you request me," and you were like instantly there when I got it.
Really? That's hilarious. I don't remember what our first DM on Discord was though. It can't have been a nomination request. There's no way. I'm not that that I don't know what the word is even.
I don't have a DM here that much. Can't be that hard to find us.
Oh my god, it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took a screenshot of it. It's so long ago.
PM me for free mod, and then
Hello.
I sent the fucking map. That's what you had to do back in the day as a fledgling mapper. You had to be on that.
Weren't you both fledglings at the same time?
No, I think Nevo was more experienced than me by a long shot.
This is not true.
It is true.
No.
But you didn't even mod the map that I sent you.
So I've been consistent for 8 years as a BN. I don't mod maps. There you go. Look at the bright side.
No, but like you didn't even nominate it. Wait, you
nominated
modded it and then you didn't nominate it. What happened there?
Oh, your map was too bad. Oh, it's unlucky.
There's no. I mean, the map is bad, but that's not the point. But back then,
I think that is
it
the
was
point.
decent. Man,
When was your first ranked map, Mirror?
in 2017
But what
or
day?
late 2016.
Oh no, you got me, bro. My first ranked map was in December of 2017. You already had like 20 by then.
Wait, there's no way. I feel like Man, I'm like Mandela affecting myself right now. I feel like I farmed your maps as like a as a new player. But
Where did you join us
maybe
in?
not. Like 2016?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I mean, I definitely farmed some of your maps in 2018, but not like I
I
don't know about
spawned
that. Or
in 2018.
you did not spawn in 2018.
My first ranked map was 2017, and all the maps that anyone knows me for are from 18.
But maybe it was
Wasn't your first wait, wasn't your first ranked like the UB Bow & Co?
Yep.
But people know you from that in 2017.
Yeah, that's December 7th though, and no one knew that map for like 2 weeks. It was really funny. It took a while.
Okay, gotcha.
And then it ramped up. Good times.
Wait, that's actually crazy that you're technically a younger ranked mapper than I. I always thought you had a ranked map before me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, DeviousPanda is already in top 3 for most nominated Mir maps.
See,
to be fair, it's a three-way tie. It's a three-way tie.
It's a
Mirror
three-way
down.
tie. Oh my goodness. Oops. The circle jerk accusations. I can't be beating them, I suppose.
I've never understood the getting.
This is so funny. Like the 10th most nominated and 9th are like 4 and 5, and then it jumps to 9, and then it just stays at 9 until the 5th most nominated, which is then 10. And then goes up to 24 with Lessa. Like there's very much just an obvious 7 people that I ask for almost everything.
You just got a map of Vocaloid thing, and then request me.
This doesn't work. This is false
That
information.
that does not
What?
work.
What do you mean?
Mirror.
I
need to
have
nominate more Nevo maps.
I
This is
have
not a balanced circle jerk.
Vocaloid stuff, I think, but I never request you because I always think you're dead.
I am. I am always dead.
Yeah, okay, so I was right not to request you.
You
I'm glad we cleared that up.
still can request me.
I'm not gonna put on a fucking jester show for me to request you and then you to go, no, and then I feel bad afterwards. You can
so you're telling me you can't handle rejection?
No, I can't handle rejection. I'm a very fragile person.
God. Wow.
Wow, Mirror. That's crazy.
Just make a good map and I won't have to reject it. Easy.
I always make it.
This is not true.
You literally just got done saying
Nevo one-shotted me in a single sentence. He's right though, he's right. I mean, like any map that is not one of my most recent 10 maps is all bad.
This is true.
All right, guys. I'm gonna finally eat.
Okay,
did you figure out what you're gonna eat?
Not yet. I'll discover as I go.
Okay. Have a good one, Kevin. Thanks for coming.
Take care.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Kevincela. It's gonna take forever to remember.
Man. I'm never going to say his name like that. It's always kevincela. Always.
Definitely kevincela.
When will this tea time end? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I can fix that real easy. Goodbye, Mir.
Oh shit.
I can kick.
Well, you can kick me if you want.
No, it's okay.
But give me advance warning. so I can say
I
my
won't
last
kick
will
you.
and test.
Now that Mir is gone, I can achieve my goals.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks for coming, Syph. We'll wrap it up here. Lots of yapping.
We're making gifts?
We're
I
making
love
gifts.
Christmas. Christmas wrapping.
Oh.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye.